gentlemen, welcome to the My Crypto Journey live stream here for Coffee and Crypto. Even though, good afternoon, I mean, we're doing a long stream today, baby. We're going to be live probably for about 3 hours. We have interest rate cuts going to be announced at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then I think Big Daddy Jerome Powell is going to be speaking at 2:30 p.m. around that time, Eastern Standard Time. So obviously it's way before the party gets started, but let's just hang out, you know? And rate rise, imagine if they raise interest rates. No way, right? We have some statistics for you guys, or some odds for you guys. So, you know, first of all, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you like being here. And if you're watching over on X, make sure to like and give your boy a follow, because we go live, except for tomorrow because I'm traveling, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you're following me on X at night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we do a live, pretty much Twitter live space where Austin and I, which we'll be streaming too, talk about all things crypto. You know, it's kind of something easier, chill. You don't have to look at my face the whole time, you know, something for you, you know, some of those sorts of things. And we let people come up and talk about things. If you want to come up and talk and share some stuff and stuff like that, hang out. And then we're always doing giveaways when we get sponsors for the stream. So it's going to be absolutely fantastic. What's up? We have Selmo Fudd, Armand first in the chat. I think we're waiting for Javi, but to be fair, we did start a little later today because we're going to go longer. We have Anthony. Anthony, what's up, brother? How we doing, Anthony, over on X? Selmo Fudd says those rates are way too high. They need to cut. They need to cut it. They do need to cut it. Apple, what's up? Priest, good morning. Bud, how we doing? How we doing? Yes, in 2 hours, we're going to be hanging out, you know, making our best predictions. And if you're watching over on YouTube, I did put a poll out. So far, it's 25 basis points. I mean, if you look at all the prediction markets here, I'll show you guys. And pretty much that's what everybody's agreeing. We have Poly Market here, and obviously most of the money's coming in. We have $32 million worth of volume on a 25 basis point decrease. We have 45 million, which is, oh, wait, what? Excuse me? Oh, this is the volume. So, excuse me. But we have 7% of the vote coming in at on 50 basis point decrease. And I guess the volume is so high because the chances are so low. So that makes sense. And then quite a bit of money coming in on no change at all, which would be crazy. If we don't get anything at all today, I mean, chaos. I think Donald Trump might go beat up Jerome Powell or something crazy like that. And then, of course, we have the FedWatch CME group, obviously 96% at 25 basis points. So it should be interesting. Shout out to the Rage Guy community. What's up? What's up? Burgers on base. How we doing? Brandon White, good morning. Good morning. All right, so the overall cryptocurrency market is just kind of dirtling, trading sideways, not really reacting so much. MYX has been absolutely overperforming, so that's an outlier. But really, everything's trading sideways, which I thought we'd get more of a pump or a dump leading up to today, but we really haven't. It's just been kind of chilling. Now, to be fair, like we've always mentioned, September is historically bad for Bitcoin, but we started off the month at around $107,000, 108, 107, and we've been climbing ever since. So it's been a pretty damn good month. And I think a lot of that has to do with, there was like more of not would say rumors, but more of a feeling that we could get 50 basis points, which let me tell you something, that'd be crazy, right? That'd be crazy. We'll see how the odds move leading up to it because we still have a couple of hours, but I doubt they're going to change much from this. So Thomas says we will have a small dump. Yeah, you know, historically, after we have interest rate cuts, we do have a little bit of a dump. And then, you know, obviously as time goes on, we get more and more bullish because this will be actually a true pivot, right? Obviously, we did lower interest rates before the last election, but it was political and Jerome Powell decided not to do any more. You know, so we'll see what happens. It's going to be very interesting. You know, Iron Lux Trader, good morning. Good morning. Philip says he caught you. Nice. You caught the MYX dip. Nice. What's up, Thomas? How we doing? What's up, boys? Boys in the house. Priest says some more coins will launch related to interest cut rates. Probably. You know, the thing about like people launching first of all, Pump Fund is pure degeneracy. Pump Fund's doing Pump Fund things. Everybody's launching their own damn coin now. I mean, we covered some pretty crazy ones yesterday. Like some guy was eating his own poop. Some guy was drinking his own pee. Some guys were pretending to be lamps. Some girl had a post called Gooning with My Goats. Gooning live with my goats. And if you know what gooning is, I'll spare you the details. You know, so that's interesting. And then I guess a guy who was like fully disabled rugged everybody. This guy said he had 120 hours to live. And the fees went to his family and claimed he didn't know what a rug is. And then he full clipped and went offline. So, which is hilarious, right? And then we have the most recent crazy one this morning is a guy's just live streaming saying that he has Down syndrome. So, you know, bro, what do we even do anymore? I have Down syndrome live. So it's like, okay, what are we doing? You know, I doubt he came up with this idea. Someone's probably exploiting him. So what's up, Momo fam in the house? Iron Lux. Who else do we have? Burgers on Base. Burgers is much smaller than FTP. Of course, we are a month old, though. Donations to feed the children and no kid. I hope you mean that. I've seen so many projects be like a charity token and not really a charity. You know, they're a charity until they rug. So I hope you mean that, you know. But welcome to this, guys. I finally got a haircut, so I might be acting a little different today since I got a haircut, you know. I can't find my my comb, so my beard looks a little weird, but and again, tomorrow, guys, I'm going to be traveling, so no stream at 11 a.m. We will be there during the nighttime for 8 p.m. How we doing, guys, this morning? How we doing? All right, the overall market, again, trading sideways, dirtling. It's nice to see us above a $4 trillion market cap size. Now, I am expecting some volatility, as you should too. You know, usually when the Federal Reserve does something, the market reacts in a whatever way, probably a negative way. Like I said, you know, historically, when they cut interest rates, the market, you know, tends to pull back a little bit. So there's that. Yeah, this guy says showering till 10 mil because I think the joke is like Indians don't shower. So this guy is like showering till 10 mil. So obviously, you know, the pump fund meta is kind of out of control, which I'm kind of here for. You know, I'm kind of here for the pump fund meta. I know people don't like it. I know people think it's straight degeneracy. I get it, guys. I get it. But I think it's funny. You know, and here's the thing. If you're gambling on pump fund and you lose money, no crying in the casino. It's like going to Vegas, playing slots or whatever, and just getting mad at the casino. It's like, you know why you're there. You know what you're there for. You know, so no crying in the casino. It's part of the game. You know, it's just part of the game. All right, Polymarket, we'll keep updates on these odds. Polymarket still has us at 91% of 25 basis points decrease. Obviously, a lot of volume on 50 basis points, but still only a 7% chance, obviously, because the odds are much, much, much lower. CME Group, FedWatch, you know, 25% basis points at 96% probability. So, you know, I think we can all assume that we're going to get 25 basis points. But let me tell you something. If we get 50, I mean, it's going to be pretty sweet, pretty sweet. And obviously, over the last 24 hours, we had BNB hit another all-time high, which is pretty sweet. I mean, BNB really outperforming a lot of cryptos this cycle. You know, people say we're not having an altcoin cycle, and I agree, we're not having an altcoin season just yet. But there are some altcoins that have been doing some insane things. I mean, Hyperliquid, Solana. Obviously, Solana's had a stellar year. You know, BNB just smashing through all-time highs. I mean, almost going to be $1,000. You guys know that BNB ICO'd, I think 15 cents. What price did BNB ICO? 15 cents. Can you imagine spending in July 2017? So really only 8 years ago, not that long ago. Can you imagine, bro? 15 cents if you got into the initial coin offering for BNB. That's crazy. Up to like $1,000 almost. Like that's nutty. Like that's mind-bogglingly insane. And obviously, it doesn't work out that good for most cryptos. But if you're going around back in the day investing in a random project and you happen to put $100, maybe $500 on BNB, maybe even $10 on BNB, you're feeling pretty good about your investment. So that looks pretty sweet. And obviously, I don't know if you guys know this, but it actually started off as an ERC20 token. And we see a lot of tokens, like they launch on like a different blockchain and make their own coin and those sorts of things. So, you know, Selmo Fudd says a 4.5 trillion market cap is key for right now. I think so too. You know, I still think we're going to get some massive runners. You know, I think that maybe we're starting to see the shift from Bitcoin to like Ethereum and other altcoins. We may see that kind of shift. RWAs are becoming like a huge thing in the space. Real world assets. We'll see. Just tokenizing everything. We could see that shift. You know, remember, we're still about 10K away from our all-time high-ish, right? I think our all-time high was about 124, like high 124,000s. So we still have some room to pump to hit our all-time high, maybe double top and pull back a little bit. But I do think, you know, we're going to start to see Ethereum absolutely rip, maybe some XRP rip, and pretty much a bunch of these altcoins rip. Now, I don't think that a lot of these altcoins that have been around forever may hit their all-time highs, because you have some like Polkadot, man, and I'm not sure that it's going to ever get this high again. It might. But there's been a bunch of mid caps that have come out of nowhere that have been dominant. Not even mid caps, but projects that like came in like 2023, like Sui, right? You know, after the last bull run, and have done some amazing things. Obviously, Hyperliquid and a few others. You know, so keep an eye out for some ones that weren't around last cycle. Glenn says, I can't wait to get the cut, then market dump. Next week will be green, though. Yes, I agree. Let's Talk Celtics says 75 basis points. Now, I think that's kind of crazy. It's nutty. Let's see the probability for that on Polymarket. So 50 plus kind of, there's no way. People are straight gambling. There's no way, right? Now, to be fair, Donald Trump and associates have been really pressuring Jerome Powell a lot lately. Obviously, to be more aggressive, because some would argue that we should have started cutting interest rates sooner. Now the argument for Jerome Powell is that he wanted to see how inflation's tariffs affected inflation. I get that. New tech, old tech that we're using now with the tariffs. I think it's about $100 billion in revenue we've been getting from tariffs. Okay, what do we do? Do we pay down the debt that we're never going to pay down, or do we send American stimmies? I think we send more stimmies, right? Stimulate the economy. Now, it's different from the last cycle. Me and Austin and I talked about this because we printed that money out of thin air last time. This time it's revenue, baby. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? You let me know. Polkadot is dead. Do you think Polkadot is dead? Let me know in the comments down below. Are you invested in any older altcoins? Okay, so one I'm really hoping for is Kronos to hit $1. Crypto.com, Kronos. And they did a partnership with DJT. So that's interesting. That could, mean that they're bullish, going forward. But Triple I says, brother, what's going on? So much is going on about Chainlink, but didn't it blow like crow? It's lagging, or they play us. So recently, Chainlink partnered with Polymarket. They're going to bring a lot of. Polymarket's been big into crypto since the very beginning, by the way, guys. Polymarket's been really pro crypto, but they did a partnership with Polymarket. Chainlink did a partnership with Polymarket, and it had a nice little pump. We saw Kronos do the partnership with DJT and get a nice little pump, and then we saw Chainlink do the same, right? Will they hit their all-time highs again? I think so. I think those two are good, but there's a few others I'm kind of just worried about. I know. But I mean, hats off to you if you bought BNB. Remember, we talk about this all the time. BNB went through the ringer during the bear market. I mean, I'll bring it up again. CZ going to jail, prison, right? Paying a 4.3, I think, $billion fine. Binance US getting Wells notices from the SEC. Paxos had to stop minting their stablecoin. There's so much they had to go through, and they're still around, and they're smashing through all-time highs. So how did the colonoscopy go? It went well. My friend did a at-home colonoscopy for me. Great guy. I'm just kidding. Trump media is now involved with Crow now. I love Trump, but every crypto he touches dies. Here's the thing. It's still young until his presidency, but I do have to admit, look at obviously, if you're crypto, you're probably pro-Trump because he's brought the space up to another level. But Trump token, Melania token, the weird stipulations with World Liberty Finance, it's pretty shady, right? And I say Trump token and Melania token because the Hayden Davis guy, the guys that are the people that get in early to Yeezy, clear, in my opinion, not good projects. I wouldn't say scams. I'm not gonna say that, but these projects that are obviously there to pull liquidity and probably do something in the future. It's a little shady. And the way I see it is, guys, the Trumps are only in office for 4 more years, or maybe 3.5 now, right? They're trying to make as much money as they can. So you should do the same. Just buy more, guys. You can thank me at a 500 million market cap size. What do you mean? Oh, Momo? No, do not stay sidelined. No, this is like an investor's market, guys. Look, inflation's only bad if you're holding money, and it's hyperinflation. Right? Shout out to Argentina. Shout out to the ancient Roman Empire. Shout out to 1930s or post World War I Germany. Not 1930s. Shout out to what was the African country that had a really bad inflation problem? I forgot. Hyperinflation's bad, but a little bit of inflation, gold looking good, all your assets looking good. If you're saving money and you're on the sidelines, it's looking bad. Right? But I don't know. Whatever. I mean, I read a post yesterday, and I don't know how accurate this is. It's just on X, but apparently the dollar has lost more than 10% of its purchasing power this year, which is interesting. This is from Bar Chart. US dollar has now lost more than 10% of its value this year. But you know what hasn't? Bitcoin. Now, here's the thing. When you think about cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, what's our utopian dream, right? What's our grand vision for Bitcoin? Peer-to-peer payments. Now, is it viewed that way right now? No, absolutely not. It's too slow. You could go to Starbucks, try to buy something with Bitcoin, and by the time you're done with your transaction, first of all, it's too slow. And then the chart may have dumped 5%. It's just too volatile, right? but we're starting to see the value in stable coins, right? Stable coins are just superior than any sort of money transmitting and sending money or whatever. Why? I mean, I've had plenty of friends growing up. I used to live around like a lot of Filipinos, and they would send money back home to like the Philippines because like $300 goes like a long way over there. And Western Union would charge them a lot. But if you just have like a wallet, you can send any amount. There's no third-party services. There's no. Maybe you should want checks and balances because a lot of people get scammed. But if you're smart and savvy with crypto, you can send massive amount of money without any checks and balances. Like it's just so convenient. But Bitcoin, is mostly viewed as like a store of value right now. Digital gold, right? Gold is pumping, Bitcoin is pumping. Now, the argument I always make for Bitcoin over a lot of other assets is like if you want to move from location to location, Bitcoin probably, in a post-apocalyptic world, I guess, or a situation where you just want to move your assets. Like you can carry a lot of your Bitcoin on a couple ledgers, right? Whereas gold needed to sneak it through TSA, which good luck with that, But if you guys are watching over on YouTube, smash the like, subscribe to the channel, guys. We're going to be here all the way up until after Jerome Powell speaks. We have the stream ready to go over here on the Federal Reserve website, right? We're going to wait for the interest rate cuts to be announced. I'll keep reminding you guys, so far, Polymarket has the odds at a 91% chance that it's going to be a 25 basis points decrease, 7% chance at 50 plus, 2% chance at no change. Interesting. And of course, CME Group and FedWatch has it at a 96%, 25 basis point cut. So what's up, Sackle Hunt? Good morning. How are we doing? And just tap in. Let me know where you guys are from. I'd like to get to know the audience a little more. We're probably gonna have some random people that we don't usually have since we're, covering all things with the Fed meeting. This Fed meeting is going viral. It's a big Fed meeting. Now, to be fair, I think a lot of them were big, but we got some pretty important economic data recently with CPI, PPI, and the jobs numbers and those sorts of things. So, I think that I guess like the last group of inflation data, which was some of it was as expected, but some of it was better than expected, shows that so far the tariffs aren't making inflation worse. We think. I don't know who creates these numbers. All I can say is that when I go to the grocery store, I'm like, wow, all this is $150. Like I couldn't imagine having kids, So that's all I can say. But obviously we're here for our assets, which are cryptos. If you're watching this, you're probably a crypto person. We have people shilling Blackcoin. Good morning. How we doing? Welcome to the stream. If you guys are watching over on X, make sure to repost the stream. Give your boy a follow. And if you guys want some more crypto evening news, because some things happen between the day, I go live with Ozam Austin, who's also going to be doing a Fed Watch stream. And he has a ton of people in the stream. We're going to go live together. We have a Twitter live space in the evening where we talk about all things crypto. We let the community come up, and then we do giveaways. We've given away $300 so far in USDT. And pretty much anytime we have a sponsor, we make sure they give us a little bit of money to give back to the community. So it's a good time to get in, maybe make some money, but get filled in mostly on the cryptocurrency news. How long for CPI? And how low can we go? I will buy some Crow and Jasmine. And what do you mean by that, Triple I? My girl Pelosi said he's not cutting, but adding another 20. Dude, there's no way he adds another 24%. Ozam Austin, how we doing? And, just to give you guys, just to keep you guys up to date on one of our sponsors, Xceller AI, which helps with pretty much, getting more anonymity in the crypto space. We've raised so far for the pre-sale $102,000. So if you guys want to participate in this pre-sale, of course you don't have to do it. They are our sponsors. Check them out. I'll put a link for that in the comments for you guys, and I'll be shielding them throughout the stream. It's up to you. You guys can do what you want. You guys are grown men and women, but they are sponsoring us, and they're sponsoring our night streams too. What's up, Austin? It's good to have you in the stream. I just want to say that our sneezing video yesterday, which I'm mad that it's our #1 short video so far. Oh, it says #4, but check this out. I made a video yesterday, a short. You guys said I sneeze like a girl, and turns out I do. Sneeze like a chick? How do I sneeze like a chick, bro? Achoo. 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 I guess I do sneeze like a chick. All right. Anyways, we do have a poll going on right now, guys. All right. We got a poll. All right. How much do you think the Fed is going to cut interest rates? Wow, we have 27% that think 50 basis points. Really? Wow, I'm surprised. I want to hear your reasoning for 50 basis points. Now, I get it. I mean, maybe. You know, there's been a lot of talk recently, obviously, of you know, Donald Trump says he needs to be more aggressive, but I think he means be more aggressive over time. Obviously, Trump would like 50 basis points. I mean, he would like 75. I mean, geez, can you imagine? The floodgates would be open, baby. I know Jayhawk says I got views. What can I say? Coyote Blue says Polkadot is dead. Sadly, best investment in 2022 market for me. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's dead, but I don't know if it hit its all-time high again, Coyote Blues. We got Jayhawk in the house. Jayhawk. Who else do we got? Awesome. It's good to see you, man. Dude, our spaces have been pumping. I think our first day we broke 101 people, and the second day we broke 125 people. Now, the number's going to fluctuate, so I don't want to get too excited. It's nice to have a Twitter live space again with that many people showing up. It's really awesome that you guys show up and want to hear us talk about crypto, because you know we love crypto. You know, we can blab about that all day. I could literally talk about crypto all day, every day, baby. You know, okay, what else do we have going on? I guess some non-crypto news, which I'm not sure how true this is, but China bans companies from purchasing NVIDIA chips. I saw a meme the other day with NVIDIA holding up the entire stock market. I would say like Tesla and Apple too, but it is true, right? Bitcoin hit $117,000 18 hours ago, which is interesting. Michael Saylor seen in Washington's wearing an orange tie to help advance strategic Bitcoin reserve bill. US and the UK to announce new crypto cooperation deal. What is this? What exactly is this? Let me see. The drive to build closer transatlantic coordination in digital asset and capital markets was discussed on Tuesday between Chancellor Rachel Reeves and U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. Sources tell. Okay, that makes sense. BNB also hit new all-time highs. It seems like gold's hitting all-time highs every other day. Rodriguez says Jerome with the G might cut 50 basis points to shut people's mouth, but that could mean no more cuts for the year. I don't know. I think the best way to go about it is just 25 each meeting, right? Or each announcement. Talk about a pivot, right? Kayla listening from the tub with her nasty ass. Wait, what? 125 people. Damn, a lot of new teamers love the space. They said it in the Discord. Let's go. I'm glad they love it. That's awesome. It's cool. It's just a way for you, like if you're on the East Coast, it's a way for you to wind down. But if you're on the West Coast, it's a way for you to maybe driving home from work at 5 p.m. just to tap into the crypto news and get filled in on everything that happened that day. You know, it's literally nonstop blabbing. There's zero quiet space. Thank you so much, fresh cut, bro. I do appreciate it. You know, I got the fresh cut. I'm gonna miss my barber here. I'm gonna tell you that. I am moving, and I cannot wait. Goodbye, Florida. Back to Virginia. Peaceful, green, quiet, chill neighbors, just silence. You know, you listen to the bugs. Sounds so appealing. You get drive to go snowboard. I think that's the biggest con of living in Florida is the fact that I have to fly to go snowboarding. You know, why am I moving? Because I just want to be away from the madness. I'd like to go back to Virginia. I can just drive a couple hours to snowboard. I don't have to take a fucking plane. Rodney is move food at ass. Wait, what are you talking about? What you talking about, Awesome? Thomas says, I'm in Florida now. Nice. Boo this man. Come to Cali. I would if they lower the taxes. I'm already getting taxed out the ass. You want silence? Come to Northern BC. Also taxes. I know. That's what I hear, Jimmy. I know. Yeah, I like Virginia though. It's take me home, country road. You moving because you're in love. Well, I wouldn't say that, but let's just say my cost of living is going to go down 70%. So, and I'm about to get a place that's like 4 times bigger and 60% less than what I pay here. That's not bad. And a yard. In Virginia, it could have a beachfront for me. Oh, that's Virginia Beach. Nothing like country living, that's for sure. Hell yeah, brother. Roddy Moon for that ass. You better not be getting you better not even get a layover in Texas or I'm sliding you. Look, I don't like Texas, you know. All right, see how the market's doing, guys. So far, nothing. MIX, man, Jesus, it's been absolutely ripping. You know, ripping. Yeah, I actually might buy. I'm not buying a house till Jerome lowers interest rates. Okay, your folks. Okay, yeah. Virginia's nice. Charlottesville's nice. It's kind of boring, but like I think I need that. You know, hey, if you like good beer, they have good beer, but that's about it. You ain't turning up a lot, I'll tell you that. All right, see if the odds have changed on Poly Market. They have not. Still the same. Stop trying to connect to my wallet, you freaks. Dude, Poly Market, man, partnering with Chainlink's pretty big. You know, shout out to Chainlink. It's money, really. On second thought, you're right. DOT is on life support. Gavin Wood will keep it alive for a couple more cycles. I mean, it'll pump. It'll pump again, right? But I don't think it'll ever hit its all-time high again. I mean, maybe I could be proved wrong, but that's what I think. I don't think it'll hit its all-time high again. Could be wrong. I could be wrong. You know. Why Virginia when Cali booty's more sweet? Shout out to my girl Pelosi. Sacco Hunt loves Nancy Pelosi. I'm not gonna lie. That's a prime sugar mama. I just want to take her Patreon trading course. That's what I want to do. How is she so good at trading? Is it because she has insider knowledge? Or is it because she's just a trading savant? Who knows? To the Appalachians, that doesn't sound so bad. Chainlink is bullish. I do agree. Link is bullish. I do agree. Let's see if we have any more cryptocurrency news out. And, you know, over the last 24 hours, we haven't got a ton of news. I mean, we had BNB hit an all-time high. Bitcoin was looking good. Man, it's been crazy to see the amount of people getting fired for the Charlie Kirk thing. You know, that's been crazy to me. Not like bad crazy, but very interesting, you know. Thoughts on Ink Chain? I don't know what that is. Wife-changing money coming to crypto? I haven't heard that in forever. Wife-changing money instead of life-changing money? Yeah. Wow, check this out. So the Poly Market for today's Fed decision has surpassed $200 million in volume, making it the largest FOMC prediction market in history. Wow, that's crazy. This is probably the biggest one. Wow, not surprised. Not surprised. Obviously, there's a lot. You know, obviously, there's been so much that has happened. Jobs reports, and things that would make you think there's going to be a rate cut, right? Hashtag I'm Charlie. I love that. Yeah, a lot of people getting canned. A lot of people getting fired, expelled, all kinds of crazy stuff. But I'm not surprised. You know, it's like we don't need you to mourn someone's death. We just need you not to be a psychopath and celebrate someone's death. Like celebrating someone's death is kind of crazy, right? I mean, hey, whatever. You do your thing. Just remember, guys, a lot of social media is meant to polarize you and make you feel a certain way. So too much social media can be a bad thing. Brandon White says that's what I need, some wife-changing money. Okay, I've been there. Bitcoin, Wider Abergutz. What's up, Wealth Ranger? I don't know what that means, but that does remind me when the Germany did sell all their Bitcoin for $50,000. Crypto flex. These are my reflections. Years later, we're still collecting those reflections. These are my reflections. What's going up, Rodney and fellow degens? We are back for another bull cycle. Pepe to the moon. Crypto Usher, thank you so much. And you're still a member, which is absolutely insane. I do appreciate it. If you guys want to become a member, why not? It's fun. Those posts on Charlie's desk are pure evil, dude. I know. And Austin's not even a member. Oh, am I a member on your channel, Austin? I might not be. But yeah, it's actually it's straight evil, Austin. Like absolutely evil. Good morning, Kayla. What's up? I hate missing the parts of the stream. Did I miss anything good? Nah, we just chilling. Usher is here. Yes, Usher is here. Wife changing money. Motherfucker says wife changing. Been there, done that. My ex-wife is one of the greatest women ever. So yeah, just to say that. It's just a joke, you know. Hey, Sacco on 43 months as a member on the channel. Jesus, that's some commitment. Oh my goodness. Awesome. Oh, my credit card changed. I didn't update it on Google. Okay, guy. Oh, hey, see the way my money works. Sometimes I got to get the deposit before I make the transaction. And, you know, it's just the way my bank works. My bank's closed on the weekends. And hey, awesome, Austin. Welcome to the Degenerates. That eggplant looks oh so nice next to your name. Everybody welcome Austin. One of us. One of us. One of us. One. I think I am part. Eat a giant ween dog. Right away, sir. Right away. Right away. Right away. One of us. All right, let's check out the poll. See how we're doing. All right, we are at, wow, that's amazing. So 53% of you guys only think 25 basis point and 27%. That's actually insane. We got the Degen Karens. Wife changing money, new Altcoin, backed by real James Wynn. No way. Dude, I don't know about James Wynn, man. He just streamed. You know what I mean? Yes, Austin is going live at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Austin is. We're going to be hacking. Oh, awesome. Gifting 10 memberships. Hey, let's go. If you guys received a membership from Austin, please thank him. I gotta do the favor back. You know, I gotta give back to your stream too. Thank you so much for gifting 10 memberships. It seems that let's see. Brandon White, Frankie Finance, PRJ Thomas, Iron Lungs, Frank the Tank, Crypto Flag. Oh, wait, no. Irati. What's up, Irati? Gennaro, James, Tito, all received memberships. Guys, if you got a membership from Austin, please thank him. Austin, thank you so much. I do appreciate you, brother. That is very nice of you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for giving me your money. Yeah. Thanks for giving me your money. 25 basis points. Yeah, that's reasonable. I think 3 cuts is good for the market. 50 is a little too much. Yeah, I agree. I mean, who knows? Let's not take it off the table. Okay. Let's not take it off the table. 72 watching on YouTube, hit the fucking like. Let's go, guys. Smash the like button. We're going to be here all the way till 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we're going hard. You know, we'll harass Austin when he goes live too. Austin's about to have 1,000 people in that bitch. XCL Mafia is strong. Absolutely. Yes, I agree. Yeah. Shout out to XCL Mafia. Let's go. Big pre-sale going on. We raised already $102,000 if you guys want to tap in. Of course, I'll include links to that right here. Tap in. If you guys can do it if you want. If you don't, that's fine too. But it's just about having more anonymity in the crypto space. DYR, absolutely. Do your own research if you don't know what that means. Let's see. Looking at MYX, I think AVNT can go to 10 million plus as well. To be honest, it would still be smaller. I mean, they're doing some crazy stuff, right? Oh, is Bitcoin in free fall now? Is Bitcoin dumping? No, it's not in free fall. It's not in free fall. Let me pull up TradingView. We'll see. I'm surprised we didn't get more of a move. I mean, we did. We got a $117,000 Bitcoin last night. So that is true. That, you know, Bitcoin did. We do have a little bit of a red candle. Let's go to the 5-minute chart. Actually, that's way too. Let's go to the 30-minute chart. Give me 1 second. All right. Someone from the inside already bet 50 basis points with high betting, 50 basis points locked in. You know, partly sunny. I did see that on Polymarket. So we are seeing a ton of volume in 50 plus basis point decrease. We are seeing that. We are seeing a ton of volume there. $46 million worth of volume, which is way more than the 25 basis point. Obviously a higher risk, right? But this hasn't really changed. And even over on CME, I haven't seen much of a change either. It's still 96%, 93% now. Oh, so yeah. So we are starting to see over on CME, not for the betting markets, but over on CME, we are starting to see the it come down a little bit. It was at 96% earlier, and that's at 93.8. So interesting. Okay. Someone from the inside. Yeah, I mean, if you had can you imagine? Someone has to have insider advantage. Like you ever work at a company or a corporation, like you just know things before the rest of the public does. Like, I mean, how many people don't get caught doing it, but there's a lot of people I'm sure that are out there because, crypto's, is anonymous till it isn't, until you off ramp it, Yeah, but AVNT has been doing fantastic. Let me see. Someone wrote a post about it, like having insiders and stuff like that. I don't know, but I mean, look at this. It's been doing fantastic. I think this thing just barely hit the market too, this month. Let's see MYX, see how that's been doing. Yeah, I mean, look at this, man. I mean, this hit the market, what, May? Just, Jesus. 11,000% up. That's actually crazy. Yes, it's 2 p.m. It'll be at 2 p.m. If I describe her walls to the chat... Yes, Jayhawk, that is insider information. That is insider information. I sent you Grace bullish indicator for today on X. Awesome. Oh, did you DM it to me? More bullish than Poly Market? No way, dude. I didn't see it, Awesome, on X. These are my reflections. Dude, what the fuck is going on? On Pump Fund, they have someone giving birth. What the heck is going on with Solana and Pump Fund? In my messages? I don't see you, Ozin. When did you send that? Oh, okay. I see it right now. All right, here we go. Yes, the Fed has cuts near all-time highs, and the bulls love it. Okay, I see. Jesus. That makes sense. I mean, it makes sense, right? When you're doing a pivot, turn the money printers on. It makes sense. I just hope we can get retail into crypto this time. So you can see the S&P 500 index returns, I guess. So S&P 500 returns after Fed cuts within 2% of all-time high. Rod and Austin back together, sign of major pump to come. Yes, ebony and ivory. So when the Fed cuts rate with stocks within 2% of record highs, which we just hit an all-time high recently, right? I think yesterday or the day before. The S&P 500 finishes the next 12 months higher every single time. 20 out of 20, 100% win rate. That's some nice, that is some nice hopium right there. Let's go, baby. Bro, Reflections was a time to be in crypto. I agree. Just invited A-Team. Nice, but I know they're watching. They're going to watch his stream. He's going to be going live soon too. Yeah, but so shout out to this comment right here. All eyes on Powell. What do you guys think? You think he's going to feel the pressure and do more than 25? I don't know, man. No way. Let's see if Poly Market has changed. I don't think so. Poly Market's gone down a little bit. Well, I just saw 91%. Still at 92%. Let's see if CME Group. I mean, 93% is still really good, guys. Okay, it went back up a little bit to 94. Ebony and Ivory, guys, all is well in the world, baby. All right, see if we have any more crypto news. So this is from Arkham. BlackRock just sold ETH. This happened recently, about 20 minutes ago. But they bought $200 million in Bitcoin. Institutions are rotating into hard money. They're flip-flopping all the time. I feel like they're always selling and buying. And not even all the institutions do the same thing all at once. So hopefully October will mark 4 years since the last bull cycle pump. Rodney, do you think October the market is going to send yes, I do think so. I mean, there's a lot of interesting people that I watch out there that are not so sure because they're looking at the crypto market as a whole and they say that we've hit all-time highs already. For a lot of cryptos, especially Bitcoin and BNB, XRP, Solana, and stuff like that. And as a whole, we have. But I just still don't think we've seen true peak ecstasy yet. Peak top. Maybe with the pump fund streams because they're streaming people giving birth now, I guess. But I don't think we've seen it just yet. I mean, we'll see. What else we got going on? This is pretty funny from the Polymarket. Polymarket says this is the most important FOMC until the next one. That's true. Yeah. Jerome Powell, this funny meme. I'm here. Oh no, sorry, I'm late. Too late, Jerome Powell. Let's see what Donald Trump has to say about Jerome Powell. Let's see some of his best hits. I need a good Donald Trump, Jerome Powell tweet, Oh, there's nothing up to date. Nothing current. Here's one. Jerome, too late, Powell, a stubborn moron, must substantially lower interest rates now. If he continues to refuse, the board should assume control and do what everyone knows he has to do. That's kind of crazy to say, right? All right, here's another one. Too late, Jerome Powell is costing our country hundreds of billions of dollars. He is truly one of the dumbest and most destructive people in government. And the Fed board is complicit. Europe has cut 10 cuts. We have none. We should be 2.5 lower. Damn, that's a lot. And save billions on all the Biden's short-term debt. We have low inflation, too late, an American disgrace. And the argument before was that we're going to see how tariffs do. Turns out they didn't affect inflation like we thought they were going to, Brandon White says, the first time I looked at a crypto chart was November 2021. I was having a ball becoming the definition of exit liquidity. Yeah. Well, now the thing is yes, things may have not worked out last cycle, but now Now you learn from your mistakes. Don't get caught holding the bag like last time. Trump is such a whack job. He's a little crazy. Yeah, he's funny. Comedian Charleston White, fuck Charlie Kirk and his kids. The comedian went on an unhinged rant saying he didn't give a fuck about Charlie Kirk's death. He laughed at Kirk's murder. Yeah, there's a lot of people that just are like that, shitty human beings. And if you're celebrating that, you're just a shitty human being. And unfortunately, the world is filled with shitty human beings, Unfortunately. Not surprised. You have people destroying murals. You can't just walk by a mural and say, I don't like that. You have to go destroy it. People are shitty, man. Some people suck. You live, you learn, you take profits. 1,000%. Agree, 1,000%. Yeah, Trump can be a little crazy sometimes. He's a little nutty sometimes. He's a little crazy, That's why we like him, though. I think, the reason why Trump kind of connected with a lot of people is because of the fact that he just says what he wants to say, He just no filter. What kind of coffee are you drinking? So I usually order. So I order, if I'm going to get Starbucks, I order like a venti cold brew with sugar-free vanilla in it. That's it. And this person's name is P. Tarong, whoever that is. So they gave me the wrong order this morning, which came with 2 sandwiches, which is nice. So I got 2 sandwiches. But it was a blonde espresso, which it's a latte, which it was pretty good, but it's a lot of sugar in it. I drank it because what am I going to do? It's DoorDash or Postmates. This is from a DoorDash though, but I made my own coffee, which is just drip coffee. My espresso machine broke, which I've had for like 4 years, or 3 years. So got some good mileage out of that. It was only like $600. And so what I did is I ground up the coffee grounds like really fine. And then I put them in my coffee maker and it's like extra strong coffee. So it's pretty good. So it's just regular black coffee. But I did have a latte this morning. Some people don't suck enough. That's why I ain't married. Okay. He drink Granny Skinny Vanilla. I know you ain't talking, Austin. I know you ain't talking I Swallow Nut. Okay. I know you ain't talking over here. He drink Grande Skinny Vanilla Blonde Caramel Macchiato with extra whip and 6 pumps of vanilla. God, yeah, it's like a heart attack. It's like, where's the coffee, you know? Where's the caffeine? Where's the caffeine, guys? Lattes are the best. They're pretty good. Yeah, they're just so sweet. You know? This is pretty cool. So check this out. So there are now 100 million tokens total on major crypto networks. 85 million of them call Solana home. Dude, Solana is just absolutely ripping. And shout out to all the people viewing on X. I appreciate you guys this morning. Let's go. IWN for the win, launching on Pump Fund. And you're not down, Austin. You're not down, bro. Let's do it. Let's launch a Pump token, bro. We'll give half of what we earn back to the creator. Back to the community. All the different Starbucks cup sizes hold the same amount of liquid, Rodney. I heard about that. Please don't. Yeah, and you know what? When you get like something with ice in it, it's like, why we got to skimp on the coffee? Like, you guys are a multi-billion-dollar company, you know? Never doing Pump Fund? Come on. Crypto flexes. We all became better investors and learned to take profits when we were all in Saitama back in 2021. $7 billion market cap to a $1.50 market cap. And people are still holding the bag. I know. It's crazy. Don't eat the ice cream. What ice cream, Ian? True Usher. I was in Saitama. Dude, we were all in Saitama. We all suffered together, you know? We all have battle scars together. No, Jake wasn't. No, Jake just tested the Pump Fund live stream. He doesn't want to deal with launching a crypto. It's, the wait is over. Come on over. Oh, jeez. Can't wait for the. Wait, who are these ladies? Can't wait for the FOMC. Are they? Austin, identify these women. Do they work for the Fed? Although they're reporters, right? These are reporters. Hello. Reflections go up and up. These are reporters, right? That are asked Jerome Powell questions. And Terrarium, yeah. I mean, but if you got a Terrarium pre-sale, you made a bag. Charleston White is literally a rage baiter for content. He tells you straight up that he's playing a character. This is American, not Britain. We can say whatever we want without the gulag. That's true. What up, Art Caffeine? How we doing? Rodney versus the Wolfpack on X was classic. Dude, that was absolutely fantastic. I mean, ice. Don't eat ice anywhere unless you like mold and roaches. Ian? What are you talking about, dude? What are you talking? What happened? Those are Big A's girlfriends, baddies. Heck yeah, bro. What the hell? Yeah, Awesome says Terrarium was a scam, although it did 15x. Yeah, dude, 100%. Hey. Let's go. What are we doing? Pump our bags, baby. Pump our bags. And other news, just in, North Korea bans the word hamburger. Okay. Okay, guys. What are we doing here, In other news, North Korea bans the word hamburger. All right. North Korea is crazy. Wow, geez, man. Time for the Federal Reserve, right? You can say what you want, you like, but that's the problem. If someone dies, if black or white, it doesn't matter. And that's the problem. Show respect. Yeah, exactly. Show respect. Like, you don't have to, but you should. You may get fired from your job. Terrarium with the fake Binance US listing. Yeah, that was crazy, bro. Damn, I remember Faltron wanted to catch up with you bad, like on site. Yeah, we know how that would have went. I'm making decent on AVNT. Nice. I'm glad to see people still getting wins right now. A lot of people are complaining about not getting wins, but there's some people out there winning. So congrats, guys. Congrats if you're getting some dubs, I'm here for it, baby. Get the dub. Get the W. The W. Falchion lives down the road from me. Yeah, give him a talk, Awesome. Someone bought 680 million Bitcoin ahead of today's rate cut decision. What do they know? I don't think they know anything. But here we go. Everyone's waiting for this moment.
Good afternoon.
MCS UK, maybe you missed the part about him playing a character. Ice Machine mold, they don't wash the inside lines. I've worked at a few. Oh, you mean Ice Machine from like, guys, I can't live my life being scared of Ice Machine mold. You know, I just can't. You know, I just can't. But I get it. I know what you mean, but yeah. I actually really like Feltron. Saitama got everyone messed up, but I think he is a good dude. He is a good dude when you talk to him. We have since became friends. So, Austin, small world, bro. Ponzi wanted a piece of him too. What happened to Ponzi Slayer, dude? I do think America doesn't. Dude, 2021 crypto was wacky, bro. There was Sandstorm and Ponzi. Like, this shit was wacky, bro. I do think America does not have respect for human life. The rest of the world is falling along sad. Damn. Where you chill out? We got respect for human life, I think. Unless you're a country full of brown people, you're probably going to get bombed, you know? Just kidding. But it's true, kind of, right? Ponzi went MIA, he did, yeah. I do remember that, yeah. That Faltron and Cabell drama was nuts. Oh, yeah, I did remember that. I can't. Yo, dude, it was one of a kind, Austin. I'm glad some of us are still here. You know, rest in peace to Jeremy. You know, rest in peace to Jeremy. And crypto. Dude, we had 2 people pass away. Crypto space, remember Crypto Chick? She passed away and Jeremy passed away. Crazy. Rest in peace to the goats. All of us are watching Jerome Powell take the stand like this today. That is true. I ain't getting shit. These Sui memes need to stop playing. They will. They'll stop playing soon. He hated Sandstorm. He did hate Sandstorm. Yeah, I do remember that. All right, let's see how we're doing on the Federal Reserve CME group. Have the percentages changed? We're at 93%, so we're going down a little bit, guys. 50 basis point may happen, you know? And then Polymarket, I don't think Polymarket's going to be changing. Oh, so, okay, so I did see us go up to 93%. So the chances of 50 plus have gone down 1% and 25 basis points has gone up. And no change has gone up 1%. Interesting. Dude, no change? Donald Trump would have a meltdown. Oh, Hinox still makes content, I think. 50 basis point will be bearish in the long run. Do you think so? I don't think so. What do you mean? Like they'd be less aggressive on interest rate cuts like in the future? Because some would argue that we should have started cutting a while ago. So that, 50 would just catch us up. Javi in the chat, baby. Let's go. Let's see how Bitcoin's doing. We got Javi here. Everybody, welcome, Javi. We're still at $115,000. This is the 30 minutes chart. So yes, we are dumping. We did peak last night at 117,000. Luis the leader still my body. Oh yeah, Luis the leader. 25 cut and then talk about another future cut. We'll send it. I think we're gonna get future cuts. I think the rest of the meetings, the rest of the announcements, we're gonna get cuts. It makes sense. Low energy, Luis. Yeah. We had beef. Rest in peace to those guys. Club Crow in the house. Let's go. Good to see you in the chat, Javi. Welcome to the stream. Damn, we had a pretty big candle down to 114, but somebody bought that up. So people are buying the dips, man. Hell yeah, buds. I ain't ready for a new snowball. Oh my God. I don't know if Luis Leonard is still out there. Well done, buddy. Don't forget James Wynn. I'm telling you, I haven't forgot James Wynn. He unfollowed me, though. Yeah. Shout out to James Wynn. They need to hurry the fuck up so I can buy lunch. Are you waiting on the Fed's decision on whether or not you should buy lunch or not? Just buy the lunch, bro. Oh, Classy makes crypto gaming content now. I think Classy got into like a bunch of nodes. He's like killing it. He's just chilling. I talk to him every now and then. I actually watched some Realm of Crypto video yesterday. Time for a swim. Ironman, California. And let's go, Jason. Jason training for another Ironman. Fucking absolute stud. Oh, you did the Ultra, right? Let's go, Jason. Knock it out, baby. You got it. And contrary to popular belief, I can swim. Okay? I don't want to hear it, guys. Contrary to popular belief. Oh, let's check it on the poll right now. Gee, that's the freshest fade in history of fades. Let's be honest. All right. We have 30% people think 50 basis points. Are you guys tripping right now with 117 votes? You guys really think 50 basis points? Really? Yeah, 25 makes more sense. Of course, Javi, makes more sense. Javi, I'm going to keep you up on, let me catch up on the odds. We have Poly Market at 93%, 25, 6% at 50 basis points. That did change 1%. And then no change at 2%, which is crazy. A lot of volume, and obviously a lot of volume in these higher risk plays, right? And then FedWatch hasn't. It went from 96 to 93, so not much has changed. He still owes me $1,000. No, I think he actually paid me. Brian's Lauren says cap. You can float. It's not the same. Okay, well, plus 25. Let's go. Sassy crypto. Now, Classy's still making crypto gaming content. You know? And shout out, we just hit 1,000 views over on X. Let's go, baby. Let's keep the good vibes going. We still have quite a bit of time until we get, Jerome Powell walking to the podium swinging dick, about to turn the money printers on, baby. Announcements at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we have about 1 hour. My bad, 1 hour. One more hour. Pretty bullish. Can't wait. All right, let's see if we can find any more degeneracy over on X. Coinbase FOMC waiting room. Polymarket put a bet out on how many days will the federal government be shut down in 2025. No shutdowns at 48% chance. 1 to 3 days is 33% chance. 4 to 9 days is 17%. 30 plus days, 2% chance. Jesus, that'd be crazy. Let's see if we have Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's still holding on to $115,000. So there's that, guys. Link says 50 basis points. I know you can do it, Jerome. I don't know. Jesus, person bet $468 to win $10,000. Jeez. That's what it is. Charles Hoskinson going to Mongolia to do some eagle-assisted hunting. Okay. What's up, Mukama? Says, hold on now. Hold on. How much are one of those? Asking for a friend. 25 basis point rate cut every few months will drag this bull run mid. Exactly, Javi. Yeah, that's the. See, we sometimes we need an adult to step into the room and give us some facts. What's good, Garbinski? How we doing? Jerome Powell instead of cutting interest rates today, guys. What if he just said, fuck it, fuck you guys? I'd have that robot in service same day of purchase. Sackle, some good old Max. What are we talking about here? Robot chick looks hot. Me and Europop actually made money on Seda Realty. That was the first play. I made 100K, but I was only able to pull out 30K from $114. I'll never forget. Jeez, that's crazy, dude. 100K or making 30K from $114 is not a bad play. Jeez. Some people never get those kind of X's, I think we're going to get to a point where we have meme coins that do that sort of thing, I think it'll get there. I think it'll definitely get there. You know, we just got to be patient, you know. Jesus Morales. Oh, classic crypto. Yeah. Russell 2000 has to break all-time high before real alt season. Hey, Delete Zeros, do you watch what's his name? I forget his name. I watch a trading guy all the time, and he talks about that all the time. Yeah. If Bitcoin holds or goes up, if no rate cuts at all, extremely bullish. No, there's going to be rate cuts, right? If there's no rate cuts, oh my goodness. No way he does. Yeah, exactly, Brian. There's no way, dude. There's no way. So are you going to be a Raven or a Commander now? Yeah, since I'll be in Washington, I guess I'm going to just see who wins more. You know? I'm going to see who wins more halfway through the season, then I'll choose. I'm hopping on the bandwagon, guys. Crash back shilling Brett. I like that. Yo, he's always shilling Brett, dude. It took three days of staying up, and I lost 10K trying to buy and tipping nodes. There's no way he doesn't lower interest rates. Let's see if the odds have changed at all. I don't think so. So still at 93% over on CME Group. Let's see Polymarket. Polymarket money's starting to come in at 50 plus basis points, which is interesting. Not a lot, just 1% increase, but that's interesting still. And then another 1% for no change. So we have money coming in on no change. Now, obviously, you know, it's pretty good, you know, pretty good deal if you get into these. I mean, look at the volume, $64 million on no change, which is crazy. Is Pablo still selling ice cream? I think Pablo's still making content. Will this be the last Powell speech? Well, no. Oh, maybe. No, because Trump can't really fire him, right? I think he wants to fire him, but he can't. No rate cuts, markets will tank. Get your shorts in. No way, dude. You know, historically, the markets do dump after rate cuts, right? But we're starting to see recovery. We did see a massive sell down to about 115.3, and we're starting to move again up to 115.8. So people are still buying. People are buying the dips. Bank of Canada, 25 basis points cut this AM. Okay, nice. Doesn't NVIDIA have the entire, like, isn't it worth more than the entire, like, Canadian economy, which is crazy? He's gone, bro? You think so? We'll see. We'll see. If he starts doing what Trump wants, he'll be there, right? What do you guys think? Do you guys think it's political, or do you think Jerome Powell's actually just doing what do you think is best for the economy? Or do you think it's political? What do you think? What's my prediction for Sophie? I don't know what is Sophie. You mean Lofi or Sophie? SoFi. Let's see, SoFi. Rao Finance. What is this? Ooh, hopefully it's not the same one. This is my first rate cut. Historically, does the pump happen after or before? It happens after. And obviously leading up to it. Since we were expecting rate cuts, to be honest, this entire month has been good for Bitcoin. I mean, if you look at Bitcoin since the beginning of the month, it started off at $108,000, you know, so there's that. But obviously, you know, post rate cuts, we do see a little bit of a decline, but then long term, it's good. Grind Gang thinking 50. Really? What's up, Grind Gang? How we doing? GM? Really? I'm seeing. So my poll on X is wildly different from the betting markets or in just CME Group in general. CME has it at 93%, 25 basis point. My chat has it at 50%. Polymarket has it at 93%, 25. So in the next 45 minutes, the action will start. Yes, we'll keep the charts up. So far, no action. So far, I mean, to be fair, we did hit $117,000 yesterday, and we started to dump a little bit. Is Bitfarms a decent stock to invest in prior to rate cut? I don't know what Bitfarms is. I'd have to look into that. This is a song. The economy. This is a sign the economy is slowing down. You know, I watch a lot of content that's not crypto, and I see a lot of people saying that. I've been hearing that a lot. All right, see what else is going on. X. Jerome Powell flipping everybody off. Justin, Eric Trump says crypto is a perfect hedge to real estate. So interesting. What do you guys think? Are we about to do this again? Man fucks 8 billion people at once. Are you going long today, Rodney? I would go short. I would go short. That's just me, though. I would go short. Do you still have your Tesla? I do have my Tesla. Yeah, fantastic car. I know people always hate on Teslas, man, but I've had mine for coming up on 3 years, and all I had to do was refill the windshield wiper fluid and rotate the tires. That is literally it. That is all. And then replace the seatbelt buckle. It stopped working randomly, that sucked because it took forever to get Tesla service. It took me like 2 months. I'm like, guys, I have no seatbelt buckle. I had to keep holding it in because like the autopilot doesn't work when you don't have a seatbelt on, obviously. So I'd like hold it in when I was driving. That did suck. And it would like make noises at you. So there's that. Did you read what MGM is doing? I did not. What is MGM? Like the MGM, like the MGM Grand? Let's see. MGM Resorts International Chief Legal Administration Officer and Secretary John McManus sells 60% of holdings. What does this mean? I know you're in Vegas, but we wouldn't blame shareholders if they were a little worried about the fact that John McManus got too many selling only 2.2 million selling shares at a price of $36. So you had a person selling their shares. 66% of their entire holdings. So is that bad? The last 12 months of insider transactions. Okay, so we're getting some insider trading. So maybe some bad news is coming. Hopefully not, because then he's fucked, right? Read my previous comment. Let me see. It's a sign that the economy is slowing down. You think so? So how do you think this correlates? I want to hear your opinion, Javi. Oh, okay. You can see visual depiction of insider trends. Oh, never mind. Before that? Oh, MGM Resorts cut 800 mid-management positions over the past week. The company is consolidating departments and making senior management compete against each other. Oh, okay. Yeah, obviously. Yeah, that's what happens with companies. You know, a lot of companies won't go kaput, but they'll definitely cut. They'll cut a lot. And we'll look out for like, obviously jobs reports, not the best, right? Jobs numbers are not the best. We'll look out for like retail too. Retail will be a big one too. When retail starts clapping people, you know, you better get you some cheap Honda truck to get around in that snow. Look at Silverado's ZR2s. I think I might just, when my lease is up for my Tesla, I think I might just get something like a truck or something. Maybe spend like 20, 30 racks in a truck or something like that and just forget about it, you know? Something neat, live simple, I'm living in this nice apartment in Tampa. I just want to move to Virginia and just live free, chill. Got me a nice corn-fed country girl. It's green out. There's no posh people. I live in the place I live in. Everybody's like so posh and like everybody's like dripped down in like Versace and Gucci and like my elevators. And I just, I'm kind of a hood rat at heart. My parking garage is filled with like fucking Rolls Royces and Lamborghinis and Ferraris. Like all the exotic cars you can think of are in my parking garage. I'm over here with my little Tesla Model 3. Like, oh, okay. Hi guys. You just need something for them long winters. The Tesla didn't do too well in the wintertime, but I don't really drive it that much. To be honest, the winters in Virginia are not that bad. Give you some acres? I know, yeah. Something like that, I don't know. Maybe we'll think about a house in like 3 or 4 months, I know your ass was struggling to get around last winter. You was there. Yeah, for sure. The Tesla did not do well in the snow. I mean, I wasn't like doing some crazy drives, but I do remember particularly like one hill next to like the grocery store called Wegmans. I was trying to get up it and the Tesla was like, it was having a tough time, but it was fine. It's not that bad. Poor guy. I know, Brian. Oh, poor me. All right, let's see what the odds are for the Fed. Let's see how the entire market's doing with the crypto bubbles last hour. I mean, altcoins are looking pretty good. Yeah, you don't sound like a materialistic guy. I'm really not. I want some like chillness, you know? You kind of don't notice what you have until it's gone sometimes, you know? That's just how it is. All right, let's see how we're doing over on FedWatch. Guys, altcoins are flipping green the last hour. So there's that. Bitcoin's just kind of trading sideways, even though we're down kind of significantly from last night. Dude, 50 basis points would send the market into a fucking frenzy for a little bit at least. I mean, maybe. We'll see. I don't know. People will be free. I think if you do 25 basis points, we definitely dump. So we get, okay, say no change is up 1%. 25 is down 3%. Still at 93%. And then 50 plus is up 2%, which is crazy. You don't got to ball out, just buy a truck. I know, Kayla, are we rich yet? You don't got to ball out, just buy a truck. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You get a good one. How much can you get a good one for? I do like Tacomas. I do like Tacomas. Tacomas are good trucks. At what hour is he going to talk? He's going to be speaking. We're going to get the announcements in about 50 minutes, and he's going to be speaking in about a little more than an hour. Get a GV70 Genesis SUV. I'm not a big SUV guy, you know? Tacomas are dope, though. They are expensive. All right, send me a little something, Jayhawk. Send me a little something. Guys, if you could smash the like button and repost the stream. If you're watching over on X, we'll have 9 reposts on X. If you're watching over on X, smash the repost button. It's free to do. Fix or repair daily. Fix or repair. Ford. I paid $30K for my Chevy, but I would recommend a Toyota, but I love Chevy. Ah, okay. I looked at a Bossman 2500 Chevy for $70K without all the options. Jesus, that's a lot. Don't listen to the chat. They're gonna have you stranded. Well, you are the car guy, Jayhawk. Yeah, but crypto bubble's looking pretty green over the last hour, guys. I love my Tundra. I got it at 233,000 miles on it. No issue. Jeez, I've heard those good things about those cars. Send me a little something. Send me a little something. See if we've got any more crypto news going on. Eric Trump calls crypto a perfect hedge to real estate, which I think we can agree. Standard Chartered Bank says the Federal Reserve might surprise markets with 50 basis point interest rate cut. That'd be crazy. That's probably why the money's coming in on 50 plus. Generational bottom. Let's see. Jayhawk texted me. Let me see what we got. Those are clean. How much can I get one of those for, Jayhawk? Art Caffeine with the $2 donation. Thank you so much. Says we back, baby. Thank you so much for the $2 donation. I appreciate you, bro. Me in 1999 resting instead of buying NVIDIA shares. Let's go. Yeah, that looks expensive, bro. I don't want a fat car payment. That's what I don't want. I want to just buy something outright. You know what? You know how I know the bill market isn't over yet? It's because I'm not a millionaire yet. Yeah, I feel that, Rob. I feel that, bro. Hoping for a big cut to shock the market into a pump. I hope so, Michael. You know, I think 50 basis points would send us, but I don't think that anything. I think 25 is not going to do anything. I think the market's going to dump, but it's going to be good for us in the long run. Cohen says, I was going to get the Trail Hunter 25, but so much overpriced. I got the 2024 Volks Tau SEL black showroom vehicle with 14 miles on her. I don't know what that is, but it sounds like you got a good deal. BMWs are so overrated now. Yeah, they are kind of clean though. They are nice, but you got to have the money to keep up with them. That's actually clean, Jay. Do they come in black? Stream on Pump Fund. I thought about making a meme coin, but we know how that's going to end. It's going to be a rug, guys. You know? We know that's going to end. It's just going to be a rug, right? They're like 80 out the door. That's actually not bad. 80 is a lot. I don't put 80 on a car right now. You know what I mean? That's a lot, but what about a Ford Raptor? What do we think about those? I like those. Market has priced 25 basis points. Exactly. Yeah. Market will dump unless it's 50. I agree. We're trading sideways, so we're getting ready. Not a meme coin, creator fees just for streaming. So you get creator. So you don't need to launch a meme coin to get creator fees? Look into it. Okay, maybe I will do that. I wonder how much they are though. Maybe I'd like a 24-hour stream or something crazy. You should see the stares he would get coming out of that truck though. Oh, me? I don't need no stairs. The 2026 GMC Hummer EV is tight. I don't think I'd get a brand new car. I think I'd get something used just because, you know, I do like leasing, but leasing, I just want to buy something outright. 30K. And give me a good Toyota Tacoma, like an older one for 30K, right? Something chill, you know? Jack, what do you think about Ford Raptors? What's the word on the street about Ford Raptors? A diesel too, that's good. I haven't had to pay for gas in such a long time. I'm so out of the gas game. Bro, Becker made like 200K in 2 hours. That's because he's Alex Becker, though. He's Alex Becker. Of course he did, you know? What's up, Ramen Senpai, GM? Got my old lady a premium Mustang GT. It's been so nice. Ooh, a Mustang sounds cool. Honestly, a little fuckboy car again. Whew. Love a little Mustang. Shout out to Neko. Believes you still got some sleeping on your wallets. Wait, believe you still got some sleeping in your wallet. Do I have some Neko? I might have some Neko. I think the community donated some to me. Let's see. The crypto bubbles are still green over the last hours. No, me. Everyone thinks I'm a drug dealer. That's funny. All right, let's see if the odds have changed at all. I don't think so. Still 93%. And Polymarket, still 93%, I'm sure. Frank the Tank with another $5 donation says, good morning. You look like a Nissan Altima type of guy. JK, Acura NSX all the way. No trucks. Gas is expensive. Yeah, but I don't really drive that much. And if I'm going to drive, I'm going to be driving a few hours to snowboard. Like when the winter comes, I'll be driving a lot, you know? Fuck no Fords. Really? Even the new ones are bad? Now you're half white. JK is all black. All those trucks are usually owned by white guys. Never even consider a Ford. Or are we gonna talk? Are we gonna talk more than you want to? Damn. Okay. My niece got a 21 Mustang GT 6-speed for her 16th birthday. What the hell? For a 16th? That's kind of. Oh, it's a 2021, but still. Where were those parents when I was growing up? Geez, look at the volume coming in on no change. $64 million. That's crazy. A lot of people think we're really. I think they're just trying to make a good bet, right? See what else we have going on. Look at this. Jeez. These pump fund streams are gnarly, dude. People eating poop, all kinds of crazy shit. Rodney, 50 basis point is a lock. Why do you think it's a lock? You think 50 basis points is a lock? That's kind of crazy. Shout out to Hester Pierce. She plans a multi-city tour to engage with crypto products. That's pretty awesome. I get 30 miles per gallon on the highway and 24 in the city. That's actually really good. Yes, poop, yes. The 6-speeds have issues. They should have got the automatic 10-speed. Do people make manual transmissions anymore? Like actual manual transmissions, or is that like old tech now? That's actually really good. Yeah, obviously per gallon, per gas tank. Yeah. Toyota Tacomas aren't white people trucks. I think they kind of are, but I am half white, so there's that. Oh. Yeah, people were eating poop, Mukama, on Pump Fun. At least they were saying that. I don't know. It could have been like a Snickers bar or something like that. People are crazy. They'll do some crazy things. And the crazy thing, people will watch it. Solana comms chief joins Avalanche Labs to supercharge AVAX growth. All right, Avalanche looking pretty good recently. They're getting. This is a meme that's going around. This guy with his girlfriend, I guess. This guy said, "God hates me, man." So yeah, Bank of Canada cuts their rates to 25 basis points, 2.5%, matching estimates. Fed rate decision coming at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, with Powell speaking at 2:30. Here's the Federal Reserve. I have the live stream up right here, ready to rock. Tacos are great trucks. Taco trucks. Yeah, her Mustang is 6-speed manual. I think the automatic is a 10-speed. Wow, nice. I do like manual. It's just a pain in the ass when you're in traffic, but manuals, you just feel like you have more of a connection with your car, right? But I guess they do make these automatic transmissions that are just way faster anyways. Let's see what else we have going on. Oh, Taco Tacoma. Why do people say tacos? Just say Tacoma. It's not that much. It's not that many more letters. Jesus Christ. You guys, you're on tacos. Just say Tacomas. We don't have to say tacos. I'm thinking of food. My fat ass is over here thinking of fucking actual tacos. That sounds good, right? I'm not going to lie. I'm going to have to get some food on stream. I'm getting kind of hungry. I'm going to have to get some food on stream. Guys, smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're watching over on YouTube. Share with a friend. If you're watching over on X, make sure to like, repost. We just surpassed 1,400 views over on X. Pretty sweet. Let's go. Let's go. YouTube's still kind of struggling behind, but that's all right, baby. I thought you meant tacos, like actual tacos. Dude, that photo op, Jerome Powell and Trump got together that looks super hostile, right? This is what we want, baby. Just drove to SF to Carlsbad in a Mustang, and you know how many times we had to fill up? How many, Kayla? You be making loot on pump? I hope so. That'd be sick. Maybe I should do that. Do they even have any good taco spots where you live? Yeah, luckily Tampa, like a lot of cities, have like good Mexican. They have a good like everybody food. Like San Diego, obviously we're close to the border, but they have some actually pretty good tacos here. And I'm not talking about your Tex-Mex Taco Bell tacos. I'm talking about like real, even though those are good too. Like white people taco night. What's up, Stealth Wing Productions? GM, or good afternoon, actually. How we doing? Well, if you're on the West Coast, GM. How we doing? But they don't have like the real tacos. And when you're in Southern California, you get spoiled. You get good tacos pretty much almost everywhere, White people taco night. White people taco night. Dude, white people taco night, it does kind of bang though.
White people taco night. We're getting taco shells from the grocery store, and ground beef from the grocery store, and shredded cheese from the grocery store, and Ortega sauce from the grocery. White people taco night.
I'm telling you, white people taco night does hit, bro. What's good, Ice God? How we doing? With that many viewers on X, it'd be 2 million market cap minimum. That'd be sick. Lawrence is ready for me to fucking send it. 6 times? Jesus. See, that's why I like traveling with the Tesla, because I've done the drive from Florida to Virginia a few times, and I have to charge, and it does add time, but you do save a lot on gas. If Canelo Alvarez makes me a taco, is that considered white people taco? Well, he's Mexican, but he's just ginger, right? Most of the people are Cuban out that way. Yeah, that is true. Most Latinos are like Cuban or something like that, but they do have They do have good Mexican food here. It passes the test. From someone who's from Southern California, it passes the test. Yeah, it's white people taco night. White people taco night is good. All right, guys, the market is starting. Well, no, it's still green. So the overall market right now for altcoins at least are still green. Bitcoin still kind of dirtling, trading sideways. We have some nice street taco trucks here, shockingly. They're exclusively run and owned by Mexicans that can barely speak English and may have a questionable legal status. Man, don't deport them. Thick Latinas and Mexicans running taco trucks, they can stay. Longest road trip ever. Yeah. Teslas do have long road trips, but honestly, some of the quick chargers are quick as hell, you know? And they make it so like you can continue your trip. I always like err on the side of caution a little bit when I travel with the Tesla, just so I don't run out of batteries power. But I do miss like taking road trips and just filling up and going, like filling up in like 5 minutes and just getting the fuck out of there. You know, but now with Teslas, you're there for like 30 minutes, something like that. Sometimes just 15, 10 sometimes, depending on where you're going and what the route looks like. But don't deport big booty Latinas. No, don't deport them. We want them here. They can stay. White people taco night. Let's see how the Fed CME group is doing. We have gone back up to 95%, ladies and gentlemen. 95% for 25 basis point. And poly market has changed. Yeah, 50 basis point. We're starting to see some more money come in on 50 basis points. No way, right? Obviously, it's still 6%. No way, right? No way that happens. So I'm thinking what you can do, because Tampa is pretty limited. I follow a channel called Detect Florida. He finds all kinds of rings and necklaces and stuff. Maybe you can go to the beach and get into detecting. You know, I'm moving, but I've seen those videos where people go to the beach with like a metal detector. Yeah, I've seen those. Let's go raid Awesome Austin. White people taco night. White people taco night.
XCL, hell yeah, Clifton. Yeah, XCL is legit. I'm loving XCL, dude. You know, it's in a pre-sale, and
awesome.
I couldn't be happier. I think that there's a lot of people that are in on it. I think they have an opportunity to do very well. So, property taxes are killing everyone. I know, dude. Property taxes killed me. My property tax, my mortgage went up like $225
yeah, back to VAS
because
yes.
or went up like $225 because I had to move money over to escrow, bro. Yeah. Austin, what's your platform? Do you recommend to purchase stock? I use right now, it's funny, dude. Like I use Charles Schwab because I used to have Scott Trader, and then Scott Trader was bought out by Trend. I mean, obviously we got Grayscale, BlackRock, Fidelity. We got a lot of these large players now.
Dude,
institutions coming in and literally flooding the zone with Bitcoin and Ethereum. I mean, that's kind of what's carried it. Austin, my girl Pelosi. Austin, I went ahead and did a transfer transaction on the link you shared yesterday to MetaMask Suite to ETH.
Let me see. My property taxes were $4,600. Jesus Christ!
Oh, did you transfer from Coinbase to your bank?
That's a mortgage.
It can take 3 days to get your money off of these.
Well, obviously, you pay that yearly, right? Sorry, I've never.
Yeah, man. Is that what you're talking about, Millicent? I could be wrong. Yeah, man. I'm getting that Lambo. You guys getting that Lambo on pre-order? Awesome. What platform do you recommend? Yeah, I just said that. Anything under $4 is a steal.
I was just donating to Austin's stream,
man. Austin, I know this might be a bit of a complicated.
He's going through all the comments right now, but I want to donate 10 donations to his Frank the Tank. The breakup with Jake had to be ugly if he's no, me and Jake are still boys, dude. Jake's already planning to visit to DC. We're gonna live it up in DC. Moving to Virginia is just for me, you know. All right, so let's see. The overall market right now is still green, guys. I mean, over the last hour, we're seeing some of the top altcoins still in the green. Bitcoin still kind of trading sideways. I think it's really going to depend on exactly what he says. We're not going to get any pre-market movement right now, at least. You think XVM is just hype scam? Looks like it's ready to full send. Still iffy, though. It could be, but, I mean, it's done some incredible things so far. It depends what you were in it for and how many X's you expected. I mean, it's doing some insane things, right? Don't tell me somebody love. Let's go, Jerome Powell. Turn the money printers on, baby. Turn them on. Forget inflation. Fuck our kids and our generation. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Just for kicks, I was wondering about Andy and Landwolf on ETH. Yeah. You know, there's a lot of projects that may make a recovery, but I don't know, you know. I'm not sure, you know. I'm just not sure if they'll do it, you know. This is pretty funny. It says, never marry your bags. Take loss. How my bag looks in red. Sydney Sweeney is just a smoke show, right? Powell pauses the rate again today and send the market into oblivion. No way, though, dude, right? No way he does that. Andy going to $1 billion, sir? I hope so, Slingshot. I hope so. Dude, Trump would have a meltdown if that happened. What's up, Mizzy Matt? How we doing? Welcome to the stream. You know, he would have an absolute meltdown if that happened. You know? Through pocket change in at 10 million, if XPM runs, it runs. There it is. That's the spirit, you know? I mean, the thing about, like, there's going to be a lot of, like, new players to the game. Just remember, like, Sui started off as a dream. You know, Hyperliquid started off as a dream, and now they're dominating the space. Roddy Tower, you got to share this time, especially the holidays. Of course. Of course. Wait, once I get to Virginia, guys, I mean, we're going to start really ramping up the work. So we'll have, like, longer streams occasionally and those sorts of things, more videos and stuff like that.
0 DTE calls. Fuck your fucking options. Fuck your fucking 0 DTE calls. Fuck the economy. Fuck inflation.
Okay. AI is crazy, right? Let's see. What's going on, brother? I have a question. I hold comp, and I was wondering, since AVE is doing better than comp, do you think there would be some... See, the thing is, like, Vic slot plays, you know, it's tough to... Sometimes you got to stick to your convictions. Like, I don't know the details of those projects, and it'd probably take a while to research them, so I don't know. But if you're going to, you know, if you're going to make a rash decision like that, and I don't know how rash that decision is, just make sure you're doing it, you know, you're thinking it through, because a lot of people will jump ship to another project and their project will end up sending a little later, you know. So just make sure you're being careful. You're one of the top KOLs in the game. Who would you say is the other 3 KOLs you like in crypto? Jay Gagan, of course. Awesome Austin, and Classic Crypto. I know Billy on Sweet is going to recover hard. Yes, absolutely. Let's go, Billy to a Billy, baby. Go to Pump Fund the next hour. Send the link. Probably make 25K in an hour. I don't think I'll make 25K. That'd be crazy, though, right? 25K in an hour. Crypto is nuts, right? What else do we got on X? Mostly people just fighting each other, politics and stuff like that. I like X because it's the internet decentralized. A lot of people don't like X, but it's the internet decentralized, right? We love it. You forgot Sans from the KOA GOAT tier list? Absolutely. I did forget. I'm still majority Arrow. Arrow's not a bad play, man. I think Arrow is just going to go up. Clearview, yeah, but Clearview is not a KOL, though. I guess he is. He has sponsors, but yeah. Do Clearview? Oh, wait. Clear Value, you meant? Clear Value Tax is really good. Jerome Powell, if he doesn't cut interest rates today, open to work. Crypto wants the rate cut answer. Without it, they don't want to spend money. No, a lot of money came in on crypto. You know, we're seeing, like, obviously Bitcoin ran a lot yesterday, and we saw you know, BlackRock buying a bunch of Bitcoin today and selling ETH. We did see that. What's up, Renga? How we doing? GM. About 25 more minutes till we get the rate cut answer. Let's see, what else do we have? GM, or good afternoon, actually. I mean, GM if you're on the East Coast. excuse me, $2 billion on USDT minted on Ethereum today. It's crazy how they just mint money out of thin air, but the peasant better cut rates by 50%. I know, Alex, right? Dude, Trump is going to have an absolute meltdown if he doesn't. I mean, if he doesn't, even if he trumps 20, I mean, excuse me, even if he cuts 25, like Trump's still going to go after him unless he cuts like 50 or 75 or something like that. I think 25. It can't be 0. It can't be 0, dude. Imagine he does it just to spite Trump, but no way. It cannot physically be 0. I can, but it can't. I'm referring to inflows coming into ETH alts, and alts. Not a lot, just Bitcoin and ETH from what I can see so far. But please learn me. No, you're right. You're right. That is true. It's because we don't have retail in the crypto. It's just institutions right now pumping Bitcoin, and now they're looking at ETH right now. They're looking at ETH, rubbing their hands together. I'm selling 50% of ERA at $8. If it doesn't do it, I'm round tripping. Rule number 1: only invest what you can afford to lose. I think $15 is coming, but I'm retarded bullish. I mean, I wouldn't say it's out of the realm of possibility. Especially with Coinbase integrating, a DEX inside, the ability to let you trade, meme coins within the actual app. That's going to be crazy. They're not going to spot list these guys, but you're going to be able to trade in the app, which is going to be crazy. He said there would be pain. Hopefully not. Hopefully just short-term pain. Bro, he could just to F with Trump, but 25 is a done deal. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, we're getting a cut. Yeah, 1,000% we're getting a cut. Won't you need somebody to love? But somebody to love. Let me see. Yeah, I mean, I don't think he would do just F with Trump. I mean, I think he still likes his job, right? Hopefully he does. I don't know. Let's see what the internet says. So FedWatch, we still have 95%. So it has gone down a little bit, but nothing too crazy. And Polymarket still has us at 93%. So yes, smash the like. I've worked for one of the largest mortgage lenders for the past 10 years. We're still crushing it. It was like 2 years ago. We were getting 25, but we need 50. That's good to hear. Somebody working in the game. Because I don't know. I watch content creators that always talk about a massive housing crash and those sorts of things. Is that the cube? Yes, it is the hypercube I have behind me. It is. Right on. Cool opinion. Appreciate you one up. Do I think 25 or 50 DAC? I think 25. How much you trying to make from this stream? Try Pump Fund. How much you make from the stream? I do the stream for the culture, for the people, Not very much. YouTube streams, I'll make them a bunch unless you get donations. But it's for the culture. Hopefully he isn't too late pal today. Dude, can you imagine? Dude, that'd be so bad. That'd be so bad. I would nuke the markets. I'm talking about nuke. I wouldn't say like that crazy, but it would nuke. Man of culture, yes. Hypercube. Gotta have it. It's not that much. It's like a few $100s on Amazon. You have to buy the stand separately, which is kind of dumb. They should just come with the stand. I remember when I bought it, I was like, it doesn't come with the stand. Did you see the search results for help with my mortgage is higher? I did see that. I did see that. So yeah, I did see that. So hopefully that's not a sign. I did see that. That there was a, let me find that. I can't find it on X, but there was a chart that showed that I love you. Thank you so much. Good luck. I love you too, bro. Thank you. All random. I did see that there was apparently like the Google search results for help with my mortgage is like higher than 2008, which we all know what happened in 2008. You know, big recession. So there's that. Who knows? You know, I don't know. I've been watching content that's been saying we're supposed to have a crash for years. You know, it's almost like it's like a clickbait. You know. Oh boy. One hour, guys. Lamborghini or McDonald's. Rodney, tell Powell to announce a 75 base. Yeah, let me just give him a call and hit him up. Now that would send the market crazy. It's one of those things where he's like, you know, obviously he's being pressured to cut interest rates. Watch, he's gonna. Trump's gonna just dunk. Trump's gonna dunk on him either way. Yeah, I told you, you know, or yeah, you know, you should have done it a long time ago, or something like that. He's gonna get him, you know. What's up, Tony Montana? Tony Montana GM. Wag me, my bro. Hope you have a blessed day. And shout out to the Wag Me community. Appreciate you, Tony Montana. One of the most hyped guys in all of Crypto X. Appreciate you, brother. Yeah, let me just call up Jerome. Let me just FaceTime Jerome Powell real quick. What are you doing, bro? Nah, nothing. Just getting ready for this press conference. All right. Hey, I'm gonna need you to do 75 basis points today. The chat wants 75 basis points, so we got to run it. A fat guy running on treadmill ran a pump fund live stream to 5 million market cap with under 500 viewers. Math. I did see that. Yeah, I did see that. Yeah, there was a guy doing that. I did see that. Brian really wants me to do dual pump fund. I might. I did see that. Ugh, I might need some more coffee. Ugh. I think this base will flip ETH, by the way, especially now with that Google AI agents will use base to conduct transactions. Picture your fridge reordering groceries when you run out automatically. Damn, dude. Maybe. I don't know. Whale porn. Jesus. Maybe, but I don't know. They're going to make their own coin, so it's going to be interesting. Stream live until midnight if he cuts 50 basis points. I cannot do that. I got to get up and get to the airport at like 5 a.m. tomorrow. So I'm traveling a little bit. Jerome wants to drag this out as long as possible. He chilling. I mean, it's scheduled for 2:30, so, you know. I feel like the Fed is doing all this on purpose. Yeah, a lot of people think it's political, you know. I need another 2008 crash before I retire so I can DCA into more blue chips. I feel that. Dude, I feel that, Frank the Tank. We're going to get one, bro. I am going on a trip on a little rocket ship. Going on a trip. But I'll be streaming, don't worry. Tomorrow morning, we will not have a stream, though. But Austin and I will be having our evening live stream, so keep an eye out for that. Senor Rocco, what's up, baby? How we doing? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. I'm going to have to order some food on stream. Your boy's hungry. Your boy is hungry. I got 10 years before I retire, so that dump better come soon. It probably will. So 1.25 basis points in the next 18 months makes sense, guys. Crypto winter might be over. Dude, I love the sound of that. See, that's the way you do it, you know? And yes, I am going to go see my redhead. Yes, I am. Yes, I'm going to go see my redhead, my country-fed redhead. Corn-fed country redhead. How'd you know? Good guess. I think Austin. Yeah, Austin is streaming right now. Yeah, Austin's always. This is my first Fed meeting stream. I usually don't do it, but we have like a little more viewers than usual over on YouTube, so that's pretty sweet. I wish I was leaving in a jet plane. Yes, I'm gonna go have some good craft beer, eat some charcuterie because white people. This is why you love dating white girls, man, because they always got charcuterie, you know. I remember one time I just came downstairs and she just had like this whole smorgasbord of charcuterie. And I didn't think I liked it until I sat there and just started stuffing my face with cheese and crackers and olives and fucking nuts, different kinds of meats and jams. I'm like, Jesus, this is amazing. Good for you. At least someone's getting some. Oh, yeah. A lot. Stable volume on base already flipped ETH in daily transaction volume in December 2024. Where Base held 30% of the crypto market share and ETH held 20%. I'm calling for the daily average of stables on Base to flip daily ETH volume within 5 years. Damn, whale porn? Yes, and smash the like button, guys. It's free to do. Let's see if we got a little update on the CME group. We have not, I don't think. Yeah, okay, so we're down to 93% again. Let's see, have a little update over on Poly Markets. 93% for 25 basis points, of course, and no update over on pretty much the same numbers on Poly Market. We are seeing, we're seeing an increase in volume on 65 on 2%, so no change, which would be crazy, but yes, like and repost if you're watching over on X. I remember back in the day, the white chicks didn't have any ass. Oh no, not this one, not this one. I don't know what they're feeding them girls in Virginia. You know, Rame, thank you so much for reposting the stream. I appreciate you. The best ice cream is cheese, adobo chili, and raspberry jam sauce on a cracker. What the hell is that? Crazy bets on Poly Market. I'm trying to get paid. Did you? Yeah, dude. I think it's like if you put like $500 on like 50 basis points and plus, you get like 10,000 if you win. You know, obviously the likelihood's very low, but hey, what the heck is that? Adobo chili and raspberry jam sauce on a cracker? Damn. Yeah, what did you bet on, Slingshot? Yeah, we want to know what's the bet. Can you do math? Sometimes, not in public though. But what is the best cream cheese with adobo chili and raspberry jam sauce on a cracker? White girls here have always been able to make it clap. Okay, here we go. I bet on all of them. I'm a gambler. You're gambling. I'll see if X has any updates. Oh my God. Dude, Crypto Banter streaming the FOMC to pump fund. That's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy. This was a bet that was placed. Fed decreased interest rates by 50 plus BPS after September 2025 meeting. Now, this is a little while ago. Odds are a little different, but I hate you for not flipping the pump. You gotta give me. I'm still live right now. I'm not gonna stop streaming until after Jerome speaks. Make that baby. Trying to make that baby. It ain't working out. They must be eating that cornbread and pinto beans. They're eating something over there. How long for live press talk? So we have about 40-ish minutes if they show up on time. This was peak pump fund with this guy threatened to shoot a goldfish. His 1 million market cap or I kill the fish. Which is kind of crazy. Dude, pump fund is so degenerate, but I mean, that's part of the space, right? It's par for the course. We love it. That's why we're here. You know, we love crypto. All right, see how the market's looking. Still in the green a little bit. Some of these higher market cap cryptos are chilling out a little bit, but Bitcoin, wow, Bitcoin's ripping right now. What the hell? Just recently, we went back to 116.3. We're at 116 even right now. So Bitcoin's was ripping. This is a 30-minute chart. So if they cut rates, do you think there will be the sell the news drag down or moon? No. So we'll definitely, historically, we do kind of pull back after rate cut announcements, but long term it's bullish, right? And to be fair, I think that, I think there was a narrative of 50 basis points that was kind of strong about a week ago, and it did pump the markets a little bit. But for the most part, it's been a kind of slow build up to, today. So, nah, fuck them kids. I know, bud. Tower to put that fit out. Bet you won Billy token that baby cooking after. Trust me, I'm a lean mean. Loving machine, baby. We're trying. You know? Ain't no issues there, I'll tell you that. All right, what else do we have over on X? Let's see. Polymarket, good afternoon. Shout out to Polymarket. Polymarket's just killing it. This is not a real bet. This is fake. This is Photoshops. No one bet $500,000 to win $3 million. Okay, so so they changed a lot, right? The average is 16 cents right here. So the bet they changed a lot. The $500 one's more believable. Ain't nobody. I mean, maybe they did. They must have some crazy insider information. But Bitcoin's still at 116. So we're seeing a little bit of uptick in Bitcoin. No way, right? My parents in their 30s. Yeah, isn't it crazy? Like how many people like bought houses for like high fives and a ham sandwich back in the day, and we're over here struggling. My parents in their 30s, let's buy a house. Me in my 30s, I need 50 basis points. That is so true. So BlackRock did buy a bunch of Bitcoin recently. So there's that, but they might be thinking long term. My gut says it's a good morning. This is the most important rate cut decision of your life. Is just the most important rate cut decision of your life is just minutes away. Are you bearish or bullish? How are we feeling, guys? We feeling bullish or bearish? So Trump will be interviewed by Fox News during Powell's press conference. Isn't like the second time he's doing this? Breaking Polymarket, guys. We have 8 minutes till rate cut announcements. Let's go. Big money. How we doing on the stream? Let's see. Get hyped. Let's see how we're doing. All right. We have so for our chat here, which I'm just saying, we're just people here. We have 25 basis point at 52%. We have 31% at 50. We have 10% people thinking that we're going to get 75 basis points. You guys are kind of crazy. Are you going? Yeah, I'm going to stream it. Yeah, we're going to watch it live on stream. Yes, but it starts at 2:30. So. $50 basis point not happening. Come on, the Mad Hatter. I agree. Delusionally bullish. I know, absolutely. What do you think of my plan? I have one sweet meme that might go stupid. If that happens, I take profits and ape into Lofi and wait for millions. I think Lofi's the thing about that team is that the dev does not stop working. It can't, in my opinion, it cannot fail. It just can't. You just never know though, but how do I vote? You have to go to YouTube and vote. Got to go to YouTube and vote. Let's see. It's going to be delusionally bullish instead of delusionally bearish. And we just passed over 2,000 viewers over on X. Let's go, baby. 2,000 views at least. All right, guys, we got about 5 minutes. What's the cool cube? It's called the Hypercube, only up, bull. Hypercube. You can get it on Amazon for a few $100s. I did talk about this earlier. You have to buy the stand separately, which is kind of stupid. Like, why not just come? It's already $300, $400. Just give me the fucking stand, But I'm scared. Hold me. I'll hold you, Frank. 8 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, or excuse me, 6 minutes. Let's go. This could be us. This is Frank the Tank right now. We're holding him while we wait for Jerome Powell to bless us with his presence. So obviously he's going to be going live at 2:30. We'll get the live stream here cooking. I'm going to hit the restroom. I'll be right back, guys. Hear me? All right, here we go. While we're waiting, 4 minutes, guys. 4 minutes. 4 minutes. 4 minutes. Let's go. While we're waiting, check this out, guys. We have the original Game Boy. How about that, huh? Look at that. The original Game Boy. It's black. We have the Game Boy Pocket. We have the Game Boy Color with Donkey Kong Country. And then in the Game Boy, original Game Boy, we have Mega Man. Super hard game. Then we have the Game Boy Advance, the Target Edition. This was kind of like still battery powered. And then we have the Game Boy SP that I made, kind of. I took the parts out. Pokemon Fire Red for this one. Sick, huh? I'm starting a Nintendo collection. Pretty sweet. All right, I'll shut the fuck up now. Rate cuts, let's go. Rate cuts, where we at, baby? Let's go. Soon. T-minus 2 minutes. Yeah, the SP is really good. Built-in light, rechargeable battery. That was groundbreaking. It's so crazy that the Game Boy was such like big tech back in the day, and it's so bulky and just... But back in the day, dude, you know? T-minus 2 minutes. Let's go. Soon. I'm refreshing the page, baby. If they cut 75, no way, dude. There's no way. Metroid 2 on Game Boy, peak Nintendo. I agree. I'll slide you in all those. Yeah, probably. I miss my Game Gear. Parents thought I was asleep. Oh, yeah, Game Gear. That was the Sega one, right? All right, guys, we're getting close. I'm in bed playing. Yeah. 50 basis points, you buy a bag of Billy. I'll do it. Hello from Pakistan. Oh, we got Pakistan in the chat. What's up, Pakistan? Let's go. What's up, M. Munib? How you doing? Welcome, brother. Welcome to the stream. Rodney, when you gaming online, I think I might do it. We got 25. Wait, how do you have that data? How do you have that data before us? Wait, are you saying that? Super Mario nostalgia. Yeah, I agree. Good, brother. Thank you. Appreciate you, brother. Let's smash. Okay. Super Mario, the nostalgia. All right, we should be getting it now. Hold on. Give me 1 second, guys. Repost the stream. I'm refreshing. 25 basis points. All right, we got 25 basis points. So 25 basis points. Congratulations. Most everybody was right. That's what we expected. Let's see how Bitcoin does. 25 basis point, and we're dumping. 25 basis points, ladies and gentlemen. We got it. Thank you, Jerome Powell. Shout out to you for finally doing what you should have done from the very beginning. 25 basis points. Oh, we're pumping. All right, so the market's moving right now. We'll see what that green candle does right here. Rick Rock says, my uncle had a Neo Geo growing up. They were basically rich. Dude, I'm saying, bro. Or like a personal computer. Brad says, Rodney, once I get my new computer, we should play some RON. What's RON? We knew it would dump immediately. What he says is more important. We want certainty and more cuts. Exactly, yeah. So we're going to see what happens here. Big, we're waiting. We have the stream right here. So as soon as it goes live, we'll get it going. Let's go. What's up, man? My name is Chance. Trying to hit 100,000 subs. I'm from GA. Let's go. Passive with a purpose. Congratulations. If you guys like, I don't know what kind of content you have, but. Oh, wait, hold on.
The reserve banks carry out a number of core system functions, such as supervising and examining commercial banks and other financial institutions.
Okay, we don't want to hear all this shit. Okay. Right or not, it's amazing. Okay. Is this the pivot? Yes, it's the actual pivot, not the political pivot. Not the political pivot we got before the election to make the current the former administration look better. Yeah. So he'll be speaking here in about half an hour or so. Heavy bull. Let's see how the market's doing right now. So obviously people are buying, selling. So, Glenn makes a good point. We want to hear what he has to say. If he says anything about not raising more interest rates throughout 2025 and obviously the rest of 2025 and obviously throughout 2026, then, it's going to be bad. But let's go whale porn. Yes, let's go. Not let's go whale porn, but let's go you. Solana is up. What are we watching? We are watching. What's up, BN? We are watching the Bitcoin chart. Let's see how the rest of the altcoins are doing. So MYX is going down over the last hour, but the rest of the altcoin market's in the green right now. Nice shout out to people on Polymarket. Most people actually won. So a lot of people lost money, but have you read A Culture from Jekyll Island? I have not. Creature from Jekyll Island? I have not. What's up? The CryptoNet says, let's go. 25 basis points. I guess I can close this down. Bitcoin's still fighting for $115,000. What's up, OG Brooklyn? How we doing? It says, look. But this is the pivot. Yes, this is the pivot we've all been waiting for, the real one. Turn the money printers on, baby. Who cares about inflation? Who cares about the next generation? Who cares, baby? Pump my bags. Pump our bags to Valhalla. We're heading in the right direction, boys. Everyone have a wonderful week. Take care. See you in the next stream. I appreciate you, Rick Rock. I appreciate you tapping in with us this morning, guys. But we will be continuing to stream for about another hour or so and listen to what Jerome Powell has to say, because that's when we're really going to see what happens with the market. Yeah, shout out to Glenn. True. Let's see how the crypto X is reacting to it. Polymarket over banks. Morgan Stanley says the Fed won't cut rates this year. Polymarket says there's a 9% chance of rate cuts this year. Who do you believe? Shout out to Polymarket. Fed approves quarter point interest rate cut and sees 2 more coming this year. Interesting. So we're still waiting for Jerome Powell to speak. XRP is ripping. Is it really? Let's see. Let's check out the coin market cap. XRP is it's doing okay. Yeah, it's ripping ish. Bitcoin at 116,000. Everything's pumping, guys. Dude, BNB might hit $1,000. Hi, when does it start? It starts at 2:30. 2:30, so about 30 minutes ish. 25 minutes ish, excuse me. The market's in the green, guys. Dude, BNB can hit it. Like we talked about this earlier. BNB ICO'd at 15 cents. You could have got BNB for 15 cents back in 2017. What were you doing back in 2017? You know, not buying BNB. Just $100 in BNB in 2017. Could you imagine, bro? We're heading in the right direction, boys. Yes, everyone. Oh, I read that already. And shout out to 2,500 views over on X. I appreciate you guys. If you could just repost the stream. We have 15 reposts. We could do more than that. Let's get her hired, baby. Looking at Latinas. Huh? Working 3 jobs. Javi, you working 3 jobs? Javi grinding, baby. Oh, let's go, Jerome. Yeah, turn the money printers on, baby. Let's go. Thank you so much, Kryptonet, for reposting the stream. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. You to go. Back into, oh, that's what you're doing back in 2007. That's what I'm talking about, Javi. Getting to the bag, baby. That's why you're in a good position now. You know, shout out to you, man. I need a good afternoon from Jerome now. Yes, me too. Hopefully he just comes out and says, you know what, guys, I've been wrong all this whole time. Trump is right. I'm a loser and I'm too late. But today, I'm not too late. Every rate cut announcement from now on, 50 basis points minimum. Who cares about inflation, baby? Argentina 2.0. Let's go. Turn the money printers on, baby. Let's see how Bitcoin is doing. Bitcoin is ripping a little bit. The rest of the market's in the green. MYX is down. Interesting. We'll do the hour chart. We won't do the day chart. We'll do the hour chart. It fits our bias a little more. Coinbase says the Fed just lowered rates. Carry on. Wife changing money. LFG. Ticker symbol wife. What's up, Mazur? How we doing? Shout out to Discover Crypto. Let's do breaking. Breaking. Cheers. Bye. Dovish. Can't spell dovish. Boom. Great, bro. We're building. Let's go. I took longs on the NASDAQ, printed. Let's go, bud. Bud making the bag. It's going to be a fun-filled weekend this weekend, right, bud? Let's go. Make sure I do that right. See how Bitcoin's doing. Bitcoin looking pretty good. Alt's looking good, except for MYX, which has had a stellar existence pretty much. Still waiting for them to go live. Let me turn that off. Good for you, bud. I'm glad you made some money. Good for you, brother. Mazir over making wife changing money. Congrats to you. And thank you so much for all reposting the stream. I do appreciate you guys. We're closing out on 3,000 views over on X. Let's go, baby. You're welcome. You're welcome. What you got planned for this weekend now, brother? How are you going to spend those profits? I think I already know. Straight degen, baby. 20 more minutes until Big Daddy Jerome speaks. Let's see how Crypto X is doing. See how they're reacting to the news. Everybody posting the breaking news. What's up, Mog Mommy? Says Mog to the moon. What's up? How you doing? Welcome, welcome. Everybody pretty much posting the same. The same news. Pretty much nothing new. We have a live Bitcoin watch right here. I know what you're getting into this weekend, bud. I already know. You don't got to tell me, brother. You don't got to tell me, bruv. Pepe Wells running the show on Wife. Pepe Wells. Do we know that Pepe Wells are in on Wife? You know, there's a lot of meme coin whales out there. You know, what I'm interested in to see, like, how many of the Shiba Inu whales sell when it, like, breaks even, you know? Gladiator Gorkus Maximus. I don't know what language that is, but welcome to the stream. I appreciate you tapping in. Not sure what that is. Gorkus Maximus. Shout out to Elon Musk. Shout out to the meme father. We need Elon Musk to go on another meme pump, you know, because he's the reason why Dogecoin did so well in like 2021. Let's be honest. You know, he's the reason. He's at least like 30% of the price action on, probably more on Dogecoin. You know, I wonder if we can get some of that same magic this cycle. You know what I mean? What's up, Mog Mommy? Let's go. Ingo. What's up? What's up? What's up? Cheetah says, pump my bags. Let's go. So far, they're pumping them. I get it's kind of holding strong. It's still on 24 hours. The 24-hour chart, Bitcoin is down a little bit. It did hit 117K last night. What's up, LFG now? It says, pump it, brother. LFG, what's up, baby? How we doing? Welcome, welcome, brother. Good to see you on the stream. Welcome, welcome. GM, or good afternoon, where you're at. Passive on Purpose says, I messed up and bought it in high on Bitcoin. I'm trying to break even right now, so not much profit taking for me unless it pumps hard. Yeah, you know, a lot of people get into at the top because that's when peak euphoria is, right? And it's where people hear about crypto. Chris says, hi, rate cuts started. More to come this year. Let's make some life-changing money. Hey, Missouri said, that's me. That's you? The Gorkus? Okay, yeah. Nice. Welcome to the stream. Appreciate you tapping in with both accounts. I appreciate that. Over on X and YouTube. Appreciate that. Let's go. Yes, rate cuts happen, Cheetah, by 25 basis points, pretty much as expected. There goes our 50 basis point narrative, you know, right out the window. We're still waiting for the press conference to start about 15 minutes-ish. James Wynn in on Wife. Yeah, James Wynn is one of those crypto degens. I bet Polymarket's taking a big victory lap right now. So the Fed cut rates by 25 basis points. A narrow majority of officials pencil in a total of at least 3 cuts this year. Statement changes are dovish. Moran is the only dissent for 50 basis points. Shout out to Moran. Bullish, but let's see what Powell says in 20 minutes. We need Powell to say, just kidding, we're doing 75. I don't think that's how it works. Can you imagine? Yes, like and repost and smash the like button if you're watching over on YouTube. Would appreciate it, guys. We're closing on 3,000 viewers over on X, which is absolutely bullish. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Welcome to the stream, ladies and gentlemen. Make America Mog again. I agree. Make America Mog. Still waiting for them, Jerome Powell, to walk out with the money printer and just burr. We're getting some red candles over on the Bitcoin chart. 30-minute chart. Okay, I moved from YouTube to here. Why have changing money? Welcome, Gladiator. Appreciate you tapping in on X. Give your boy a follow if you're not following me. Let's go. But we are seeing some red candles here. We'll see what that Big Daddy Jerome Powell has to say. But you know, like we said before, you know, historically we do see a little bit of a price dip after interest rate announcements. So it's bullish long term, right? So it's okay. Don't get scared. Don't get worried. Everything's going to be fine. You're going to be okay. Passive on a purpose says, don't get me wrong, I'm still long on this, but everyone wants to pump a bag fast. Yeah, I mean, that's just the nature of crypto. It's because we hear these like insane stories of people making insane money, which happens very, very rarely. But the people that I've seen make the most money in this space do so slowly over time, so just have some patience. Things are going to work out for you. Gotta have a little patience, baby, just slow down a little bit, Uwu is the new Mog money, selling the news. Yeah, it could be. Yeah, we're starting to see a pretty big dump. Probably the worst of the last. No, yeah, we're getting down there. Let's see how the altcoins are. Are we flipping red yet? We're starting to flip red. So we'll see. This is normal, right? Oh my God, look at that red candle. Hello. Hey, chill. Relax. What's going on? Relax. Bitcoin dumping hard right now. Chill out. Who's selling? Stop. Thoughts on Keggis and ETH? We're still bullish. It depends if Elon Musk posts. It's like with those kind of memes, Elon Musk has to make a post about it, right? People are buying the dip though. It's fighting for $115,000, man. It's fighting, but I think the bears might win out at least short term on this one. Pepe will lead the way. We do love Pepe here. Shout out to Pepe, number one meme coin on ETH. We love Pepe. Big Pepe guys here. Looks like people are eating up that red candle though, so there's that. We'll see. But this is the 30-minute chart, so a lot of people are selling right now. Stop selling, guys. Lock in. We're still waiting for Jerome Powell to come on stage. Altcoins are starting to flip a little red right now. Yep, we're starting to see a lot of red coming in. Obviously, everything's going to follow Bitcoin slowly. So keep that in mind. Creator coins are growing every day. I did see that. Yeah, creator coins are looking really good, actually. That is true. Let me see. Give me 1 second. Creator coins are looking pretty good. All right. Do you think we will see another meme coin go ballistic since there are so many now? You know what? There's always been a lot of meme coins, and we do see some kind of separate themselves from the pack. We do see that a lot of the time. Yeah, I think there will be another meme coin that goes crazy. I mean, we've had a few recently. If we go to like the top meme coins over here on shout out to BNB, man, geez. But everything's starting to flip to the red. But if we go to some the top memes right here, obviously Pepe in a league of its own, but meme core. I mean, look at meme core over the last existence. I mean, this has gone crazy. It's like the top four meme coin. Trump token doesn't really count because the president launched it, right? It's not like organic. Fart coin did well. SPX, and these are all kind of new-ish. So yeah, I definitely think we can get some meme coins to do well. Just hard finding them at those low market cap sizes, it's just tough. Brian, you would have made 10 to 20K if you did this on pump. I know. Maybe. But it looks like the Bulls are fighting the Bears now for this Bitcoin price. Still waiting on Jerome Powell speak. About 12 minutes, guys, until he goes live. Look at your viewers. Yeah, but on YouTube, it's live. It has 75, and on X, it says 3,100, so 3,100. But those are views, so it's not like there's a lot of people that are live on X too, but it's not exactly 3,000 live at once. Have you seen Base SPX? Amazing CTO team. I have not seen them, no, but I've heard about Base I've heard about Base SPX. I have heard about it. I doubt this many. I doubt this many would come to Pump Fund. Maybe I'm wrong. They might, but agree with that. There's always some meme coin that blows away. Yeah, true, Chris. It's a simple link click. I know. I'll do a pump fund stream at some point. Just maybe for the creator rewards and not to chill a meme coin. But Base coin is coming. Yeah, Base is, if you guys didn't know, Base is making their own coin. So and they said they weren't going to, but I'm glad that they're deciding to do that. And I think they said a lot of these things before we had a pro crypto president. So live stream on Pump Fund are getting weirder. They are getting weirder. It's the natural progression of the degeneracy. And this is what happened last time. Like people are eating their own poop and drinking pee and all kinds of crazy, like people like giving birth. I swear to God, that's happening. There's a guy that rugged people was disabled and in a hospital bed. He said he had 120 hours to live and like rugged everybody. Oh man, my $2 went down to $1. Darn, gotta have smiles and laughs. I know, passive with a purpose. I know. Let's see how the chart is doing. It's fighting right here. Bitcoin's fighting at $115,000. I think we'll get a little bit of positive price action once Jerome speaks. We'll see. We did eat up this massive red candle. We got down to 114. So, but look at their daily revenue. That's true. Okay, Brian, I will stream on Pump Fund. Okay, I will stream on Pump Fund eventually. And guys, if you're watching this over on X, make sure to like and repost the stream. It'd be awesome if you did so. Jerome Powell coming out in 9 minutes. Let's go. Lock in, boys and gals. A few gals out there. Lock in. I'm feeling bullish. I'm feeling bullish long term. I don't care. I feel bullish, okay? Overall, the overarching theme, and thank you so much, Snowcore, for reposting the stream, guys. The overarching theme is bullish, okay? You got to feel bullish. You feel bullish right now, you know? Things are looking good. Think of where we were last year, you know, and think of where we're at now. It's just different. Night and day, guys. Lock in. You know, things are going to work out. It's going to work out for me. They're going to work out for you. You know, just lock in. All you have to do is lock in. You know, let's see how altcoins are doing. We're starting to see some green again. The market is so volatile. Crypto is so volatile, dude. You know, of course, Papacito retweet always. Okay. Thank you so much, Snowcore. I'll be your chick calling me Papacito. I'm just kidding. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see. Not to be that guy, but people need to calm down. If it dumps, buy more. I know with all my heart, it'll be much higher in October. Exactly. That's what I mean. Like, you know, in the grand scheme of things, guys, we're going up, right? When in doubt, zoom out, you know? This is just the beginning of huge price appreciation. I agree. Rodney's more of a mamacita. Okay, Nectar. Okay, you got an issue with me, Nectar? Just go ahead and say it, okay? All right, what do we prefer, guys? The original Game Boy or the Game Boy Pocket? This is the first Game Boy I had, was the Game Boy Pocket. Dude, I'm telling you something. Buying batteries for these things was terrible. So in your opinion, what's the best possible thing Powell could say to make the market mega bullish? He could just say that he can imply or say flat out that we're going to continue to lower interest rates throughout the rest of 2025 and the rest of 2026. That's the best case scenario. OG, okay, the OG Game Boy. You guys like the OG more than the Game Boy Pocket? No way. No way, right? Glenn is right. I wouldn't mind another entry before we fly to Pumped Up. Yeah, you're going to get an entry. Pokemon on the Game Boy was the shit. It was. I have it for the Game Boy SP. Fire Red. But yeah, it was the shit. Yeah. Still waiting for the Fed. About 7 minutes, guys. I have a long open at 239 sold trying to exit this wave. You have a long open. You better hope Jerome Powell comes out and says some nice things. Let me see where we're at on Sol. 235 right now. The Game Boy Color was the most memorable. I agree. This color too, right? Donkey Kong Country. I remember they had like the transparent, they had the transparent games. I mean, that was like the Game Boy Colors like thing. Today, Toshi on base, pumping hard to get ready. What's up, VRPO? Thank you so much for the $2 donation. And shout out to Toshi, which is actually listed on Coinbase. Yes, 6 more minutes to go. 6 more minutes to go. Close that long before you get wrecked. Yeah, you do what you want to do. Maybe Jerome Powell comes out and says, guys, I've been wrong the entire time. Trump was right. Hey, next meeting, 75. Game Boy Advance SP, first one with the backlight. Yes, first one with the backlight and rechargeable battery, Gonzo. That was huge. Because the worm lights, first of all, would drain your battery like crazy, but they only worked like right at certain angles. Like, I'm like, and I'm sure it's because it's old, but like seeing on this thing, like just seeing the actual game is so hard. Is it not working? There we go. Oh, hold on. Let me get that for you guys here. Hold on. How long you been here, bro? You don't got a job? This is my job, dude. That's Mega Man. But like, even though this one's like older, it's still hard to see on this motherfucker. Like, look at this thing. Crazy. All right, we're still waiting, guys. We have the YouTube, we have the live stream. Oh, Spyro was sick. Spyro the Dragon was sick. I do remember Spyro the Dragon, yeah. Yeah, it's hard to see it. Like, I'm like, how did I do this at night? Other Game Boys? Yeah, I know. It's crazy. Even the SP, like the backlight's not perfect, but it's still pretty good. Come on, pal. Don't let me down. That's what I'm saying, man. Come on. I cannot. Hey, where are you from? I don't know how to pronounce your name, but where are you from? Because it's the middle of the day for us here. Come on, Big Daddy Jerome. Jerome's such a black guy name too, which is hilarious. Taiwan. Hey, okay, dang. What are we expecting to hear? We just want to see how is he sounding? How do we think he's gonna, like, the tone of what he's? Everybody's gonna be studying his words, right? We just want to know how he's gonna be sounding and what the future of rate cuts may look like, or the future of what the Federal Reserve looks like for the rest of 2025 and into 2026. So. Accidentally stumbled across the stream. Hey, well, welcome. It's good. We got Taiwan in the house, baby. Taiwan #1. Let's go. Thank you for all the semiconductors. You guys low-key run the world right now. Jerome got that good hair. He's true. That is true. Jerome is black. He just lost all of his melanin. He ain't cut yet? No, we did cut. Yeah, 25 basis points. But we want to know, like, what else is going to happen, you know? We have an idea, but we don't know. All right, see the rest of the altcoin market right now is in the green. It's in the green. Bitcoin back to $116,000. Okay, we saw a massive red candle. We ate it up. Okay, that's good. That's good. Bitcoin looks good on the daily. We are where we were a month ago. True, and you know what? Ever since I think we started the month off around 108,000, so we've been slowly going up. You know, it's been pretty good. Why are we not pumping? You know, historically, the market cools off after the rate cuts, the pivot we're having right now, but then it'll start to heat up. That's why they call it Pumptober, you know? Jerome got that good hair. Becky with the good hair. Jamal Powell. Okay, here we go. He's back above $4,500. Let's go. All right, guys, we have 2 minutes. I hope sometimes they're a little late on these things. Someone's got to take one for the team and give Jerome some. Oh my God! Why did I read that out loud? Okay, sing the song. Pump it up. You got to pump it up. Let's pump our bags, Jerome. Come on. Let's put Bitcoin right here. Let's put the chart right here. We'll do that and do this. We'll do one of these right here. We'll see how we're doing. Put that in the top right. No, just the top right. There we go. Perfect. So would it be exploding during his speech or after that? So we don't know. It depends. So it depends on how he's sounding. We think he's going to sound dovish, dove, hawk, bear, bull. We like animals in the trading space or stock, crypto, whatever you want to call it, markets. So how is he sounding? If he's like, well, 25 days, I had to because Trump was going to fire me, kind of deal. I don't know about that. If he says like, I don't know if we're going to continue lowering rates or something, or he implies that we are or not. It depends. It depends. It's crazy how the whole world economy is gently balanced on the U.S. federal print rate. I know. Hopefully one day Bitcoin replaces USD as our global reserve currency and we can have hard money again. I know. Whale porn. I don't know. That'll be tough, right? But I agree. I'm not mad. I think you meant, by the way, I'm not mad at Jerome. Waited to cut rates. With the tariffs, he probably thought the economy would tank. That's what I'm saying. That's what I don't think everything's political, Okay, hey, we're live. We're live.
Our policy interest rate by 0.25 percentage point. We also decided to continue to reduce our securities holdings. I'll have more to say about monetary policy after briefly reviewing economic developments. Recent indicators suggest that growth of economic activity has moderated. GDP rose at a pace of around 1.5% in the first half of the year, down from 2.5% last year. The moderation in growth largely reflects a slowdown in consumer spending. In contrast, business investment in equipment and intangibles has picked up from last year's pace. Activity in the housing sector remains weak. In our summary of economic projections, the median participant projects GDP to rise 1.6% this year and 1.8% next year, a touch stronger than projected in June.
Nice.
In the labor market, the unemployment rate edged up to 4.3% in August, but remains little changed over the past year at a relatively low level. Payroll job gains have slowed significantly to a pace of just 29,000 per month over the past 3 months. A good part of the slowing likely reflects a decline in the growth of the labor force due to lower immigration and lower labor force.
I was about to say immigration.
Even so, labor demand has softened, and the recent pace of job creation appears to be running below the break-even rate needed to hold the unemployment rate constant. In addition, wage growth has continued to moderate while still outpacing inflation. Overall, the market slowing in both the supply of and demand for workers is unusual. In this less dynamic and somewhat softer labor market, the downside risks to employment appear to have risen. In our SEP, the median projection for the unemployment rate is 4.5% at the end of this year and edges down thereafter. Inflation has eased significantly from its highs in mid-2022, but remains somewhat elevated relative to our 2% longer-run goal. Estimates based on the Consumer Price Index and other data indicate that total PCE prices rose 2.7% over the 12 months ending in August, and that, excluding the volatile food and energy categories, core PCE prices rose 2.9%. These readings are higher than earlier in the year as inflation for goods has picked up. In contrast, disinflation appears to be continuing for services. Near-term measures of inflation expectations have moved up on balance over the course of this year on news about tariffs, as reflected in both market and survey-based measures. Beyond the next year or so, however, most measures of longer-term expectations remain consistent with our 2% inflation goal. The median projection in the SEP for total PCE inflation is 3.0% this year and falls to 2.6% in 2026 and to 2.1% in 2027. Our monetary policy actions are guided by our dual mandate to promote maximum employment and stable prices for the American people. At today's meeting, the committee decided to lower the target range for the federal funds rate by 0.25 percentage point to 4 to 4.25%. and to continue reducing the size of our balance sheet. Changes to government policies continue to evolve, and their effects on the economy remain uncertain. Higher tariffs have begun to push up prices in some categories of goods, but their overall effects on economic activity and inflation remain to be seen. A reasonable base case is that the effects on inflation will be relatively short-lived, a one-time shift in the price level. But it is also possible that the inflationary effects could instead be more persistent, and that is a risk to be assessed and managed.
Boo!
Our obligation is to ensure that a one-time increase in the price level does not become an ongoing inflation problem. In the near term, risks to inflation are tilted to the upside and risks to employment to the downside, a challenging situation. When our goals are in tension like this, our framework calls for us to balance both sides of our dual mandate. With downside risks to employment having increased, the balance of risks has shifted. Accordingly, we judged it appropriate at this meeting to take another step toward a more neutral policy stance. With today's decision, we remain well positioned to respond in a timely way to potential economic developments. We will continue to determine the appropriate stance of monetary policy based on the incoming data, the evolving outlook, and the balance of risks.
So that's kind of like
in our SEP, FOMC participants wrote down their individual assessments of an appropriate path for the federal funds rate, based on what each participant judges to be the most likely scenario for the economy. The median participant projects that the appropriate level of the federal funds rate will be 3.6% at the end of this year, 3.4% at the end of 2026, and 3.1% at the end of 2027. This path is 1/4 percentage point lower than projected in June. As is always the case, these individual forecasts are subject to uncertainty, and they're not a committee plan or decision. Policy is not on a preset course.
That's not the best information.
The Fed has been assigned two goals for monetary policy: maximum employment and stable prices. We remain committed to supporting maximum employment, bringing inflation sustainably to our 2% goal, and keeping longer-term inflation expectations well anchored. Our success in delivering on these goals matters to all Americans. We understand that our actions affect communities, families, and businesses across the country. Everything we do is in service to our public mission, and we at the Fed will do everything we can to achieve our maximum employment and price stability goals. Thank you. I look forward to our discussion.
So it's kind of like so-so, you know?
Great. Thank you. Chris Rugaber at Associated Press. As you know, Fed Governor Stephen Myron has kept his position at the White House, even as he's joined the Fed board. This is the first time, I believe, the Fed's board has had someone with executive branch ties in decades. Does this compromise the Fed's independence from day-to-day politics? And relatedly, how can you maintain the public's perception the Fed is politically independent with this dynamic? Thank you.
So we did welcome a new committee member today, as we always do, and the committee remains united in pursuing our dual mandate goals. We're strongly committed to maintaining our independence, and beyond that, I really don't have anything to share.
Okay, and then just as a quick follow-up, I'm sorry. Can you and other Fed officials have spoken extensively about the impact of tariffs on inflation, although perhaps with many companies appearing to eat the tariffs, tariffs may be impacting the labor market and other parts of the economy instead. Do you see that as a possible outcome here, that tariffs are the reason we're seeing some slowing, particularly in the labor market, rather than in inflation? Thank you.
You know, it's certainly possible. You know, we're beginning to see, we have begun to see goods prices showing through into higher inflation, and actually the increase in goods prices accounts for most of the increase in inflation, or perhaps all of the increase in inflation over the course of this year.
See you, Kayla.
Those are not very large effects at this point, and we do expect them to continue to build over the course of the rest of the year and into next year. And you know, it's also possible and that there may be effects on employment, but that I would say if you're looking at why employment is doing what it's doing, that's much more about the change in immigration. So the supply of workers has obviously come way down. There's very little growth, if any, in the supply of workers. And at the same time, demand for workers has also come down quite sharply.
Healthy inflation.
And to the point where we see what I've called a curious balance. It's, typically when we say things are in balance, that sounds good, but in this case, the balance is because both supply and demand have come down quite sharply. Now demand coming down a little more sharply because we now see the unemployment rate edging up.
Nick Timmeros of the Wall Street Journal. Chair Powell, do economic conditions and the balance of risks no longer warrant a restrictive policy setting?
So I don't think we can say that. But what we can say is this, that over the course of this year, we've kept our policy at a restrictive level, and people have different views, but a clearly restrictive level, I would say. So, and we were able to do that over the course of this year because the labor market was in very solid condition with strong job creation and all those things. I think if you go back to April and now look at the revised job creation numbers for May, June, July, and August, I can no longer say that. So what that means is that the risks were clearly tilted toward inflation. I would say they're moving toward equality. Maybe they're not quite out of equality. We don't need to know that. But we do know that they've moved meaningfully toward greater equality, the risks between the two goals. And that suggests that we should be moving in the direction of neutral. And that's what we did today.
Under what circumstances would a larger than 25 basis points rate cut be warranted? And how seriously was that option entertained at your meeting this week?
There wasn't widespread support at all for a 50 basis point cut today. I think we've done we've done very large rate hikes and very large rate cuts in the last 5 years, and you tend to do those at a time when you feel that policy is out of place and needs to move quickly to a new place. That's not at all what I feel certainly now. I feel like our policy has been doing the right thing so far this year. I think we were right to wait and see how tariffs and inflation and the labor market evolved. I think we're now reacting to the much lower level of job creation and other evidence of softening in the labor market and saying, well, those risks are maybe not fully balanced, but moving in the direction of balance now. And so that warrants a change in policy.
Colby Smith with the New York Times. Should we be viewing today's cut as the committee taking out some insurance against the possibility that the labor market is at risk of weakening? Or is it the committee's view that the dynamics of a downturn are already in place? I guess I'm just trying to square the shift in the rate forecast in the SEP towards more cuts than just 3 months ago with the fact that the forecast for unemployment didn't change.
Yeah, I think you could think of this in a way as a risk management cut, because if you look at the SEP, actually, the projections for growth this year and next actually ticked up just a little bit, and inflation and unemployment didn't really move one. So what's different now? What's different now is that you see a very different picture of the risks to the labor market. You've seen, we were looking at 150,000 jobs a month at the time of the last meeting, and now we see the revisions and we see the new numbers. And I don't want to put too much emphasis on payroll job creation, but it's just one of the things that suggests that the labor market is really cooling off. And that tells you that it's time to take that into account in our policy.
So just looking at the SEP, once again, the median participant has inflation higher than previously expected by the end of next year, and the Fed not getting back to the 2% target until 2028. So I guess I'm just wondering how you characterize the risk to price pressures of kicking off a series of cuts at this point.
Yeah, so I would look at it this way. We fully understand and appreciate that we need to remain fully committed to restoring 2% inflation on a sustained basis, and we will do that. At the same time, we've got to weigh the risks to the two goals. And I would say since April, to me, the risks of higher and more persistent inflation have probably become a little less. And that's partly because the labor market has softened, GDP growth has slowed. So I would just say that the risks there have been less than one might think. And in terms of the labor market, what we're seeing is unemployment is still low, it's still a relatively low rate, but we're seeing downside risks.
Michael McKee from Bloomberg Radio and Television. I'm a little confused by your explanation of the Fed cutting rates because of unemployment if you think that most of what's happening in the employment area is related to immigration, which your rate cuts wouldn't address? How do you see that as more important than inflation, which has remained almost a full percentage point above your target?
Well, I was saying that what's happening in the labor market has more to do with immigration than it has to do with tariffs. That was the question I was answering. So I wouldn't say that all of what's happening in the labor market is due to tariffs. I mean, you clearly have a slowing in it due to immigration. You clearly have a slowing in demand, which is now perhaps more than that in supply, and we know that because the unemployment rate has ticked up. So, that's what I meant by that.
Big red candle, boys.
Follow up. Every year since 2015, the SEP has forecast that you would hit your target 2 years later. And this year, this SEP says you're going to hit your target 2 years later. 2% does not seem to be in sight. Does that suggest that the 2% target is not really achievable? And does this present any credibility problems for you in telling people that that's what you're going to do if you can never reach it?
Spicy.
Well, I mean, you're right. It does say we're going to get to 2% inflation in 2028 at the end of 28. But that's literally how you put the projections together. You're writing down a rate path, which is designed to create over the course of the SEP, time frame, 2% inflation and maximum employment too. So that's all that is. No one really knows where the economy will be in 3 years, but the nature of the exercise is to write down policy that you believe would return to the 2% goal over at least by the end of the exercise.
So far, it's just sounding like we're not going to be as aggressive with rate cuts as we thought. And they're still just going to pay attention to the current economic data to decide on whether or not they need to cut rates. Because, it is true with all the immigration going on, jobs numbers are just all kind of wacky. He still wants to see how tariffs can affect inflation. So there's that. I mean,
with ABC News. The latest inflation report shows that prices are still going up across key categories for many households, including groceries. What will the Fed do if prices pick up more?
Yeah, this
is our expectation, and you can see this consistently through the year, has been that inflation will move up this year, but that the basically because of the effects on goods prices from tariffs, but that those will turn out to be a one-time price increase as opposed to creating an inflationary process. That's been our forecast.
That's so sad,
Pretty
Javi.
much every all the individual forecasts say that. We can't just assume that, though, right? We have to. Our job is literally to make sure that is what happens, and we will do that job. Right now, the situation we're in is that we see inflation. We continue to expect it to move up, maybe not as high as we would have expected it to move up a few months ago. The pass through of the tariffs into inflation has been slower and smaller. The labor market has softened. So the case for there being a persistent inflation outbreak is less. And so that's why we think it's time for us really to acknowledge that the risks to the other mandate have grown and that we should move in the direction of neutral. So what will we do? We'll do what we need to do, but we have two mandates and we try to balance them. For a long time, our framework says that when our two goals are in tension, this is quite an unusual situation. How do we decide what to do? Because our tools can't do two things at once. What we do is we ask which is farther from, how far is each from the goal and how long is it expected to get to the goal? So, and then we think about those things and we see, as I mentioned, we have been,
jobs are like
our policy has been
issue.
really skewed toward inflation for a long time, really. Now we see that there's downside risk clearly in the labor market. And so we're moving in the direction of more neutral policy.
How concerned are you about the slowdown in the jobs market for households at home, especially younger Americans struggling to land a job?
So it's an interesting labor market, and obviously we think it's appropriate that we reduce our rates so that we become more neutral, which presumably will be better for the labor market. You see people who are sort of more at the margins, so kids coming out of college and younger people, minorities are having a hard time finding jobs. The overall job finding rate is very, very low.
Yeah.
However, the layoff rate is also very low. So you've got a low firing, low hiring environment. And the concern is that if you start to see layoffs, the people who are laid off there won't be a lot of hiring going on. So that could very quickly flow into higher unemployment. In a healthier economy, healthier labor market, there would be jobs for those people. But now the hiring rate is very, very low. So that's been a growing concern over the last few months. And it's one of the reasons why we think it's appropriate that we begin to shift our policy focus toward a more balanced one.
That's what Javi was saying about the MGM Grand laying off like 80,000 people or something like that.
Steve Leisman, CNBC. Mr. Chair, in the past, during rate cuts, you used the word recalibration. And I wonder if you pointedly did not use it this time. And in fact, when you said policy is not on a preset course, did you mean that as sort of the opposite of recalibration? Are we meeting to meeting, data point by data point? Are we in the process here of getting back to neutral? Thank you.
So I think we're in a meeting by meeting situation. We're going to be looking at the data. Let me say a word about the SEP really here. So we often point this out. What the SEP is it's an accumulation of the individual projections of 19 people, showing what they believe at a particular moment in time to be the most likely path for the economy and thus the appropriate path for monetary policy as well. And as you know, we don't debate or try to agree on what that is. We just write them down and accumulate them. We do sometimes discuss them. And so we always say we're not on a preset path, and we really mean that. The actual decisions we make are going to be based on the incoming data, the evolving outlook, and the balance of risks at the time the decisions are actually made. So you will have seen that we have 10 participants out of 19 who wrote down 2 or more cuts for the remainder of the year, and 9 who wrote down fewer than, in fact, in a good number of cases, no more cuts. So rather than looking at this as certainty, I would encourage people, as always, to look at the SEP as through the lens of probability. And so there are different possible outcomes and likelihoods rather than this one is certain and this one isn't happening. So that's what I would say.
Thank you for getting to my follow-up question, which was, is the dispersion in the outlook a sign of uncertainty of policy in the meetings to come? Thank you.
It is such an unusual situation. Ordinarily, when the labor market is weak, inflation is low. And when the labor market is really strong, that's when you got to be careful about inflation. So we have a situation where we have two-sided risk. And that means there's no risk-free path. And so it's quite a difficult situation for policymakers. And it's not at all surprising to me that you have a range of views. It's not so much about having different views for the path of the economy, but it's partly that. But it's also partly about what's the right thing to do in light of the tension between the two goals. How do you weight them? How worried are you about one versus the other? And so it's natural. I think it would actually be surprising if you didn't have a pretty wide range of views based, in this kind of highly unusual situation, and we do. So, but we get together, we discuss, we have a great discussion, and then we decide what to do and we act. But you're right there that it's a wide dispersion of views, and I think that's understandable and natural in the current situation.
Hi, Victoria Guida with Politico. You've talked a lot about Fed independence and the importance of it over the years, but as markets have questions about what exactly President Trump's intentions are with the Fed, what would you point to as the things they should be watching to determine that the Fed is still making decisions based on, the economic outlook rather than political considerations?
Look, it's deeply in our culture to do our work based on the incoming data and never consider anything else. That's just everybody who's at the Fed really feels strongly about that way. So, you'll know it by the way we talk about what we're doing, by the speeches that people give, by the decisions that we make. You'll know that we're just still going to do that. That's all we do. And we don't frame these questions at all or see them in terms of political outcomes. I think when you get to another part of Washington, everything is seen through the lens of, does it help or hurt this political party, this politician?
He's saying that with his chest.
And I think people find it hard to believe that that is not at all the way we think about things at the Fed. We're taking a longer perspective. we're trying to, serve the American people as best we can. So I think you would be able to tell. I don't believe we'll ever get to that place. I would say we're doing our work exactly as we always have now, and they're making their arguments, and we're having a great discussion around these challenging issues. So,
do you see the court case around Lisa Cook as being related to questions of Fed independence?
Spicy.
I see it as a court case that it would be inappropriate for me to comment on.
Yeah, he said that with his
Chairman
chest.
Edward Lawrence from Fox Business. So we saw the preliminary benchmark revisions down 911,000. The revisions for June were the first negative revisions we've seen since December of 2020. How can the Fed base important decisions on rate and what to do with the interest rates on data that seems to be, as you've called it in the past, noisy?
So on the QCEW, the revision that we saw was almost exactly what we expected. It was amazing how close the expectation was. So, and the reason for that is, for the last bunch of quarters, there's been almost a predictable overcount. And I think the Bureau of Labor Statistics really does understand this, and they're working hard to fix it. It's got to do, of course, it has something to do with low response rates, but it's also got to do with what's called the birth-death model, because a good amount of job creation happens around new companies, and how many go out of business, how many are founded. And it's just really hard. You can't survey for that. You've got to have a model that predicts that. And it's quite difficult to do, especially when the economy is undergoing big changes. So, and they've been working on that and are making progress on it. But the data we get is still good enough for us to do our work. To the extent we have issues around data right now, it's about low response rates. That's happened all over really. Response rates are just lower to surveys now, both in and out of the government. And it's no great secret. We want higher response rates, and we need those to have, less volatile data. And the way to get that is to make sure that the agencies that collect the data have sufficient resources to drive higher response rates. It's not a complicated problem, but that's what it takes. It's not a mystery. That's what it takes. The other thing I'll say, Edward, is in the case of the job creation, the response rate is quite low for the first month, or lower for the first month. By the time you get to the second or third month, you're still collecting responses for that last month, for that prior month. And you get to the place where the data are much more reliable by the second and certainly the third month. So it's not that we don't get the data, it's just that we get it a little later.
But for the benchmarks, if that holds, it's 51% of the jobs that we thought were there weren't really there. It shows a weaker job market coming into this year. If you had that information, would it have changed your mind related to where the interest rates should be? Should there have been a cut earlier?
We have to live life looking through the windshield rather than the rearview mirror, as you know. And all I can tell you is we see where we are now, and we take appropriate action. And we took that appropriate action today.
Got him.
Thanks. Howard Schneider with Reuters. So as you mentioned a minute ago, some margins of the job market would suggest that the slide's already happening. Black unemployment rate in August was above 7%, declining work week, difficulty among college graduates finding work, rising youth unemployment. Why do you think a quarter percentage point now is going to arrest that?
Well, I didn't say that I thought a quarter point would make a huge difference to the economy, but you've got to look at the whole path of rates, right? And markets has already been baking in expectations. I mean, our market works through expectations, right? So I think our policy path really does matter. And I think it's important that we use our tools to support the labor market when we do see signs like that. I did mention that, you see minority unemployment going up, you see younger people who are more vulnerable economically, more susceptible to economic cycles. That's one of the reasons, in addition to just overall lower payroll job creation, that shows you that at the margin, the labor market is weakening. I would also point to labor force participation. Some part of the significant decline in labor force participation over the last year has probably been cyclical in nature rather than just the usual aging process. So we put all those together, and we see that the labor market is softening, and we don't need it to soften anymore, don't want it to. So we use our tools, and it starts with a 25 basis point rate cut. But the market's also pricing in a rate path. I'm not blessing what the market's doing at all. I'm just saying it's not just one action.
As a follow-up to that, the growth mix right now seems very concentrated in investment and on the consumer spending side in the higher income groups. Do you feel that that's an unsustainable mix for the economy moving forward?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that. I mean, you're right. Those are two. We're getting unusually large amounts of economic activity through the AI build out and corporate investment. I don't know how long that will go on. No one does. In terms of spending, you saw that the consumer spending numbers were well above expectations, and that may well be skewed toward higher earning consumers. There's a lot of anecdotal evidence to suggest that. Nonetheless, it's spending. So, I mean, I think the economy is moving along. Economic growth is going to be 1.5% or better this year, maybe a little better. Forecasts have been coming up, as you can see. So, labor market unemployment is low, but downside risks, but it's still a low unemployment rate. So, that's how we see it.
Hi, Stephanie Rule, MSNBC. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent has said that the Federal Reserve suffers from mission creep and institutional bloat. He's now calling for an independent review. Would you support an independent review, or are you open to any sort of reform in any areas of the Fed?
I, of course, am not going to comment on anything the Secretary says or really any other officer says. So in terms of reform at the Fed, we just went through a lengthy and I think very successful process of updating our monetary policy framework. I would say there's a lot of work going on behind the scenes around the assets we have in the Federal Reserve Federal Reserve System and at the board. Are they the right size? We're actually going through a 10% headcount reduction through the whole Fed, including the board and all the reserve banks. The employment at the Fed at the end of that will be basically at the same level it was more than 10 years ago. So we will have had zero job growth for more than a decade when we're finished with that. And I think we'll probably do more than that. So I think we're certainly open to constructive criticism and ways to do our jobs better.
Not an independent review?
We're certainly open to always trying to do better.
Okay. All right.
Mr. Chairman, Neil Irwin with Axios. There's been some debate lately on whether AI is already starting to affect the labor market in terms of lower labor demand, higher productivity by contrast. Do you buy that? And if that is true, does that have implications for the monetary policy setting?
So there's great uncertainty around that. I think my view, which is also a bit of a guess, but widely shared, I think, is that you are seeing some effects, but it's not the main thing driving it. And so particular focus on young people coming out of college. And yeah, there may be something there. It may be that companies or other institutions that have been hiring younger people right out of college are able to use AI more than they had in the past. That may be part of the story. It's also part of the story, though, that job creation more broadly has slowed down. The economy has slowed down, and so it's probably a number of things. But yeah, it's probably.
All right. So if you're watching and asking, I guess we can wrap it up here because it's just all kind of the same information. So okay, so is it bullish or bearish for crypto? I'd say obviously long-term bearish. I'd say some of the best things we can take out of this was that no one was really considering really a 50 basis point rate cut. Obviously things got all crazy on social media. They think that they have a target for rate cuts throughout 2025, throughout 2026, but they're not going to be as aggressive as we thought, but we're still going to get them. But then still we're going to be paying attention to the data that's incoming, month to month, obviously, because there's different factors, right? We have all the people getting deported, immigration issue, right? A lot of jobs, the jobs numbers are kind of wacky, right? then he said it's kind of weird because you have inflation issue, but then you have the jobs issue. So it's kind of like one of those things where like, what's the lesser of two evils? And right now he feels like the jobs issue is a bigger kind of issue. So forget the inflation data and we'll just try to slowly cut interest rates, right? So kind of dipping their toes in, so those sorts of things. So I'd say it's bullish long-term. Obviously, historically we get a little bit of a pullback after rate cut pivot. And so, yeah. So pretty much that's the stream, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. 3-hour stream. Guys, I will not be streaming tomorrow at 11 a.m. because I'll be traveling, but tomorrow night and tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we'll be going live on X for a X live space, and we'll be giving away some money again. So hope to see you guys there if you guys are watching over on X, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you're here for the whole 3 hours, you're crazy. I love y'all, and I'll see you soon, guys. Peace. Rate cuts 20.